Great start. That guys, welcome to another episode of Unpopular Opinions. That was supposed to be a very cool superhero entry, but I ended up dropping Phantom Chacha. So please, everybody, I'm so sorry, Phantom Chacha. There you go, little Chacha. Uh, I wish that would have been a cool superhero entry in my mind that played out better. Like I just come on screen and I'm like, and everyone's like, wow, Sahil's here, and everyone would clap. But instead, I screwed it up. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. We are here, we are live, and finally, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's finally happening. Last week, we wanted to do unpopular superhero opinions, and literally, I'm not even kidding, literally 1 minute before the stream started, Thor came and he's like, "Ah, tuck," and all my electricity disappeared. And that's it. I was in darkness, molded by it for the next 2 hours. I did some random chit chat with people. I said hi, hello, but maza nahi tha. I couldn't show you this amazing setup that I have done only for this stream. Anyways, now that we are here, enough excitement from my side. I have a few quick things to say before we start. There are a few rules, okay, that we follow in this stream. Rule number one, we don't say OP, we say JMDLR. For everyone who is confused, JMDLR stands for Jai Mata Di, let's rock. That's how we do it. That's how we roll, okay? Number two, I'll constantly be asking you guys to like press the like button, spam the like button, because if you press the like button, more people will be watching the stream. And I know I may sound desperate, but I don't care. I am a desperate person. Just press it so that more people get to watch this stream. That's finally happening, okay? Also, I am reading the chat. If you have anything to tell us, please let me know in the chat. If you want to super chat, you feel free. There are 2 buttons below. You can super chat, you can send a sticker, or you can send a text. I will read your chats. Please don't be disheartened and be like, oh, chat mein pad raha hai. No, I will read your chat. Sometimes the conversations get a little too intense. Now that I have explained what this is about, now that I have told you guys what this is about, and now that I have revealed that I am Iron Man, I mean, even though you guys don't believe it, I think we are ready to start the stream. So wherever you are sitting, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, sperms and spermets, whatever they're called, give it up loudly. Give it up, give it up, give it up for the 2 superheroes in my life. Give it up for Rohan Joshi and Tejas Medan. That's right. Tejas and Imaging Edge webcam.
It's my version of the bat symbol. It has to appear before I do. It's my version of the bat symbol. It's just there. It has to be there.
Can you imagine if everyone looks up at the sky instead of the bat signal, there it's written Imaging Edge webcam, and they're like,
but
wow.
That's going to happen, right? Because you know that if Batman happens like in this day and age, they're not going to use an actual like gas arc light. They'll beam one of those LEDs that's changeable. And you know at one day there's just going to be a error 404 media not found.
They just have the Burj Khalifa, man. That it's as good a bat signal as any right now.
Yeah.
They'll project anything onto that.
Full display text message saying, Batty, if you are here around, just we are trying to call you. Please come. Then fireworks come out like that.
Just a buffering symbol. Just a buffering symbol in the sky.
I have to say, it's so amazing. People are tripping over your camera, Rohan. People are like, I can't believe that the comments are Rohan's camera.
Soft, naram, beautiful camera.
It is really good. It's highly
It is very
impressive.
nice, guys. I have accidentally become an evangelist for this camera setup. It's so sad that it is, I think, legit the most interesting thing about me being on everybody's stream. But it's the only thing anybody asks. It's very sad. But it's also very beautiful. My friend Joseph Radhik, who is a photographer, helped me set it up.
Yes.
I got this very nice camera, and then he also told me what to do with lights, etc. So I've managed to get quite a soft twacha look vibe this thing with this camera. It's also with the nice defocus happening at the back.
Yeah, I know. It's like I feel like I'm supposed to have like a dramatic scene with you right now, but
You always have a dramatic scene with me. Always. We're in the middle of it right now.
Okay.
Fun fact, before we started, I'll just quickly run, before we started, we were doing a quick tech check. Everyone's like, Rohan, great camera, great sound. Tejas, can you reduce your camera a little? Fan is showing in.
Yeah, I had to put like a second pen to prop the camera like further.
But look at your audio, Tejas. It's like Yeah, you have musician audio. That's
Thank
the thing,
you.
right?
Yes.
You have
Yeah.
musician
Pro
audio.
audio. No, I'll take
Like,
it. I'll
yeah,
accept.
like you sound right now. I'm getting like full Amin Sayani vibes from you.
Thank you.
Like,
Exactly.
like I don't know. Like I think the word I'm looking for. Your tones are very dulcet right now.
Thank you. Dulcet tones.
Dulcet tones. You have
Yeah,
dulcet
yeah.
tones right now.
Yeah, why
Yes.
not? I'll accept it. I used to work in radio, so Amin Sayani was the
See,
the
there we
Batman
go.
of radio.
There we go.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'll
There we
accept
go.
it.
Yes, yes. I remember Amin Sayani famously going around the city beating up criminals with his fists.
Not even
That's what he
here.
was known
In
for.
Ceylon.
Just punching people like all India Gotham में आपका स्वागत है.
Hey, that would be a great fucking like podcast for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, no?
GCP, not GCP.
He's Batman, but he doesn't growl.
Yeah.
He like
No, as
beats
in
you, but where is
like
she?
a Night Vale, but for Gotham.
Where is she?
Amazing. I would listen to it. This thing.
I would 100% listen to that.
I think we would all, everyone in the chat, if you'd like to please, we are creating a petition for this and we will be signing it very, very soon and make sure that Amin's he's alive, right? He is alive, right? Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm asking.
Let us solve this with
Let
a
me
quick
just, I'm
Google
gonna
so that
use
we
the
don't
interwebs.
Your city.
I mean, yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Amin Sayani's fine.
He's good.
It's good, right? Oh,
Amin
okay,
Sayani's
so
good. We're good.
create a petition. We are good. Very excited for this. I want to ask you guys now that we've already started on this note, and I think it's very evident that we are all super nerds. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a superhero fan are you? I'll start with Tejas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like 12, whatever. Yeah, a big superhero fan. Read. I used to go to Archie's gallery. I don't know if it's the same affiliation with the one here in India, but in Dubai, in this place where all the immigrants lived called Karama, it was like a library. We'd go and buy comic books for like 3 dirhams, and it's like the old school, single issue, tall guys, like not the collected volumes. We used to buy like Iron Man, the Hulk, Wolverine, all that stuff in the 90s. Enjoyed it. It was only 3 dirhams, which is maybe I don't know how much that is right now. How much is that now?
Around 50 bucks.
50
Around
bucks?
50
Yeah.
bucks,
Yeah.
And
I had a
that's
huge
Sahil with the
collection.
Forex update.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't care to convert anymore because it's such a bad habit. But yeah, I used to collect that stuff. Then my mom threw it out.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's we haven't forgiven her for that, my brother and I. But yeah,
that's
definitely a
understandable.
big superhero fan. Love superheroes. Stuff. Yeah, I was gonna show merch, but
No, that's
I feel
fine.
like that's pointless. Yeah.
That's
I was literally gonna pick up this and go like my favorite superhero right now, Elsa. But yeah,
for that joke, I will say let it go, Tejas. Let it go.
Let it-
be nice. Well done. You must be a comedian.
I must be. What about you, Rohan? 1 to 10.
1 to 10. 1 million. Definitely a huge superhero fan, huge comic book fan. Everything that Tejas said, but as somebody who grew up in Bombay, like you, with the limited access that we sort of had to comic books, a lot of times would occasionally discover gold at the Raddiwala. Another place that was a treasure trove for at least like collected omnibuses a lot of the times was Shemaru. Occasionally on the bottom shelf you found
Shimaru, the
Shemaru, the library. Shemaru,
Oh,
the
the
library
library,
was
okay.
like the thing, man, growing up. Like Shemaru library, everything, like Stephen King, to comic books, to Mad Magazine, to Shemaru had it all.
Nice.
And I like abused the shit out of that library card. And wherever we could occasionally, and then of course like cartoons, like devoured cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many of the cartoons. Like I remember, I think like the staples of my childhood were the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon, of course.
X-Men.
All the Fox
X-Men,
cartoons.
Yeah.
all He-Man. Also, then of course, like the non-traditional superhero, the more graphic, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is of course nothing like the graphic novel, but those cartoons. And then the internet happened, and peer-to-peer file sharing happened, and I was young, and I had
That's the
I had
suited
loose
Winnie the
ethics.
Pooh version of like
I
Napster.
was young and my ethics were questionable. But my speeds of internet were not, and I used that to great advantage. There has been lots of, I think people in this chat will know what I talk about. I mean that there has been a lot of sequential right tapping on JPEG viewers. And use that to like really
Yeah.
finally understand. Oh, so there are major arcs and giant things that happen over years and years and years, and reorderings of universes and this and that, and that was
Man,
when it all really came together.
we didn't have comic books. I'm not even kidding. I
No,
also
no.
used to use peer-to-peer, and I used to download the
Peer-to-peer.
comics, and I would turn my laptop sideways to give
Yes.
myself a
Oh
feel
my
that
gosh.
I am
Yes.
reading a comic. It's if you're in India, when you say pop culture, our version of comic book, there was no comic book cafes or merchandise stores or any of that. So like Rohan said, whatever you would pick
This is some bizarre utopia we live in now,
Yeah.
where you can just
Yeah.
you press a couple of buttons and this
Spoiled.
beautiful like paperback just arrives at your door, and that just like I remember the first time I read Watchmen it wasn't even like a laptop you're saying sideways, PC with like the giant freaking monitor and my face pushed up against the screen with every image made fucking gigantic and scrolling down to like let those images eye fuck me as much as they could.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I also read Watchmen first on a machine. And the weirdest thing is that I was listening to this one Scorpions album.
Okay.
I don't know why. At the exact same time, I was reading Watchmen for the first time. So
Oh, nice.
an indelible impression has been made on me. But I cannot think about it without thinking about the Scorpions album. It's just like both of them are
that's
fused
amazing.
together in my memory. But
That is amazing.
But
that
yeah,
is truly,
still,
it
man.
completely changed all
Yeah.
along the Watchtower for me.
Yeah.
Like entirely and forever.
So my knowledge of all of this is very basic. I used to collect comic books that had a different funk. Like I remember they had Spider-Man India. There was a version of
Yes.
Spider-Man India
with
Pavitra
Pavitra
Prabhakar.
Pavitra Prabhakar.
Yes.
And
yes.
Meera Jain.
Yes.
Yeah, and Meera Jain.
classic.
Yes.
And
Uncle Beam.
I was so proud of it. I still am proud of it. That's the only thing that I wish I had kept a collectible version.
Yeah, man.
But,
I had those.
You know what I really wish I'd kept a collectible version of? I mean, still very much available today, but and I should go buy them. But back then when I was a kid, those distinct size Fauladi Singh. Did you ever read any of those like Tiranga, Fauladi Singh, like the Raj Comics table? Basically.
So let's not discuss this because this is going to be coming in later. So let's
Spoilers.
pause right
Okay,
here.
okay.
Spoilers for our conversation because this is
Ooh,
gonna be a
okay.
We are ready to start.
Okay.
Before we go, quick
Excited.
thing. Bhakti, thank you so much for the super chat. A lot of people, Tejas, a quick question. A lot of people are saying Rohan's favorite bottle. Rohan Wake and Bake was amazing. So
Thank you.
Compliment.
It was.
This is my favorite bottle. Yes, this bottle is somehow on every stream.
Thank you so much. Achal saying Sahil Rohan, love you. And last but not the least, Tejas, what Scorpions album?
I'm literally looking. I think it was either Pure Instinct or Unbreakable. I'm not sure, but yeah, one of those right now. But I think there's the one which has New Generation on it, and I think that's Unbreakable if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
Nice. Very nice. I've never heard that music, so that's why my face is up.
Like I've heard the
It's fine,
Scorpions,
it's
that I
fine.
know 4 songs,
Yeah.
and I'm just like I completely defer to Tejas' judgment as a musician on this.
Oh, no. Scorpions are just fine. I mean, I know there are lots of like diehard fans. In fact, when I came to India, the first concert I remember happening was like a Scorpions concert.
Yeah, they'd come. I remember this.
Yeah. So I think around then, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Like again, for me, Scorpion, Mortal Kombat, I'm like, oh wow. Wow.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
All right, cool. Let's start. Before we start, one last announcement. I see 250 people watching this. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the
Hey,
channel.
cool, nice.
Yeah, if you're new to the
Very
channel,
good.
please press subscribe and also press the like button so more people get to watch it.
Smash
And
that
on
shit.
that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start our popular opinions with the first opinion.
Oh my God, where'd Tejas go? It's Clark Kent.
Oh, Tejas.
Oh,
How has he been replaced by
I was
my man
Superman
and
before
reporter
this.
Clark Kent?
Thanks.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
You know, I was going
No. You were Tejas before this. Now you're my man reporter Clark Kent. Relax. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Can I just say?
Damn it.
Can
My best bet is to convert into Clark Kent. I love that. That's my favorite thing.
It's a start.
I have to say this, okay? I'm so sorry to interrupt, but like I was going to start with a different opinion, but since Rohan pointed this out, they just pointed it out. Screw it, we're going to start with this one. Superman had the stupidest secret identity.
It's true. It's true, even though I recently read like a sort of very spirited defense of it about how that a lot of times like glasses really do make people look different. Also, like the argument was that if your entire personality was so absurdly mild-mannered and you did your body language and all of that, no one would make that connection. But I don't know. It was a stupid secret
To
identity.
see, I'll tell you what. In comics, I don't understand. Like I was watching a video recently saying that Christopher Reeves, if you look at Christopher Reeves Superman, what he did was he very specifically, when he was Clark Kent, he would intentionally hunch his back
Yeah.
and he
Yeah,
would
exactly.
act smaller in frame as to, and then there's a scene where Lois walks away and he literally just removes it and he goes,
Dude,
and I'm like, oh, okay.
you will believe a man can fly. That's
Yeah.
that's the movie, man.
That's the movie.
I don't know.
But that's what the article was talking about.
Yeah. No, I just think I don't know, there was that meme going around about what Zoe Deschanel looks like without her glasses and without her fringe and everything like that. And when you see that like comparison, you'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, I get how Clark Kent exists as a separate personality. I don't know, man. I think it was just it was a simple comic. I mean, they wrote it. I mean, like even the introduction of something like Kryptonite was so simplistic back then. It was just to give like the voice actor like a break, from that episode. And so they would get somebody to fill in that role, whether we'll get another actor to just go like, so that actor could like chill out for a bit and then come back for the radio drama. So it's all
that
of these were
role.
just like serendipitous kind of thing. So I don't know. The journalist thing is just so that he looks nerdy and he's abreast of world news so he can go save it. So from that point of view, till Man of Steel, where they kind of say that by the time he joins the Daily Planet, Lois Lane already knows who he is. He's not trying to hide who he is as Superman. He only becomes Superman after he joins the Daily Planet. So she already knows. I think they worked it in fine, I guess. I think it's okay.
we're not talking about her. We're not, so like in the overall.
That's the whole
grand
point though, right? She's a
right?
Pulitzer Prize winning journalist who can't find out that her co-worker and colleague and love interest is the most popular figure on the planet.
Well, you know what? I mean, Hank didn't know Walt was Heisenberg either. Sometimes being too close to something. Sometimes being too close to something can make
fair
it
enough,
difficult,
right?
He
Fair
just
enough.
had to shit in his
Ignore
bathroom.
the red flags,
Yeah, but-
right?
but-
he just
but-
had to shit in his bathroom, pick
Exactly.
up the book,
Walter White was trying very hard to kind of do the whole like do a switcheroo and make sure he doesn't find out. Like the lengths he goes to delete evidence, taking a flipping magnet in a truck, all that shit.
Hey, we don't know how many bodies Superman has in the trunk. We have no idea. Like not like he'd tell us.
I'm just saying that there was another great theory also kind of presented about how part of Superman's like powers are also kind of ability to kind of stay incognito or just basically blend easily. I think that was one of the writings that they did.
No,
I think Grant Morrison did
I
that.
think you're
that is
confusing that with
bullshit.
Assassin's Creed. You're confusing that with going towards groups in Assassin's Creed. That's
Okay,
a
one
different
second.
mechanic from a different thing.
Yes, I'm an assassin dressed with a white
is-
hood,
you're
like
being
pearl white,
tremendously
and I just sit
forgiving
on a
here.
bench.
Yeah,
and then I'm
that's it.
fine.
And then, God.
You jump from the top of the tower into a pile of hay and nobody notices.
As long as you do it quietly and gracefully, nobody will.
But
know.
Everything
that-
is permitted.
That
Yeah.
has to be the stupidest explanation to a secret identity that no, he has a power of, like nobody knows.
And you know
So-
why I don't accept that? Because
Okay.
there is another character who has that power, and his name is the Martian Manhunter, and he does a much better job of it.
Well, he can physically morph. That's the
Exactly.
only difference. I mean, I'm talking about the fact, like, how in Superman Returns they did that really really clever shot, which is like the most like memorable one, where the bullet comes and
Yes.
like strikes him in the eyes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
would happen if Superman got shot in the flippin' eye? And then you realize that he's kind of exuding like a bio kind of shield. So I'm just thinking that he's got powers. There's this one really really good series called I think it's based on like the 12 tasks of Hercules, and like
Okay.
every story is like that. I think it's like what happened to the Man of Tomorrow or something like that. Oh, Superman for All Seasons, if I'm not mistaken. Is my
Okay.
video frozen?
Yes, you
Your
are.
video is?
video
Frozen.
is-
I'm gonna fix it. Hold on.
Okay,
You can
okay,
hear
okay.
me. You can hear me fine.
We
right?
can hear you just
You
fine.
absolutely
Okay, cool.
fine.
This
Why
is
don't you
now-
get
this is
someone
now a
to
podcast.
get someone to dub in for you? Just get someone to come on the mic and go,
Yeah.
I see what you guys are doing. No, but so Superman for All Seasons, that's the one where he goes way too close to the sun, and then he's he's overpowered. Oh my
Yes.
God, guys, he's OP. He's
Oh,
actually
shit.
Superman OP.
Superman OP.
Yes.
And he does that, and he gets like endowed with like even like bigger like powers and more things. So I'm not saying it's impossible. Is this working? Shit.
It is work. Your audio is fine.
Your audio is absolutely fine. I
but
think
I don't know why
your,
this,
Keep talking.
frame
Come
is
towards the
frozen.
sound of our voice stage.
Anyway, what I was trying to say was on this episode,
God, it's a me.
Unpopular Opinion.
Me.
Anyway. No, but I just think I don't think it's the I think out of all the dumb allowances that we give superheroes, I mean, since he kind of kickstarted off, like you can let
They
that one
had to
slide.
make it up as they went along with him because he established the rule.
So like
Yeah.
I agree in that aspect, right? I agree in that. It's like there's so many times where I've thought about it. I'm like something as stupid as like hypothetically speaking, if Batman had a mustache, everyone's like, dude, I know who this is.
Dude,
like,
Rohan had a mustache when we did the table read.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And
exactly.
made a huge difference.
So apart from Superman, are there any other heroes whose identities you think are really stupid?
Yes, I think way
unnecessary?
stupider
I think
than
Bruce
Superman
Wayne
is Batman.
Batman, yeah, of course.
Batman. Oh, gee, I wonder who's really expensive looking, bespoke, bat-shaped jet
Bespoke.
it could be in this city. Like, I'm just saying, right? If I, like in Mumbai today, saw like a really gaudy, ultra decked out, you can tell like army technology prototype, but for some reason maroon and green LEDs on it, flying over the sky, I would knock on Ambani's house door first. Like, I'm like, listen, man, let's be real. You are the only guy in the city that has the money to do this.
Well, to be
Explain
fair,
to me.
Like
Explain to
at
me
night, the ship
what
is
the
flying.
fuck that was last night. Like,
Okay.
explain.
allow me this. Rohan knows. Well, both of you know how much I love The Dark Knight Rises,
Yes.
right? And in The Dark Knight Rises, they make a really good reason. Like they kind of throw it back to an older version of Batman, like a gothic version of Batman, where Bruce Wayne is like a recluse, right? Like he's a hermit of sorts. And if you knew that he's walking with like a crutch, he's got a big beard, he's got like long hair, he's like eating out of like a can, whatever the hell. I'm just saying that you would never connect the two, right? Because if you're
That's
looking
in
at
a
the
very
whole
specific universe. Like
That's-
that's,
that's-
very
that's-
specific.
That's Batman during lockdown, basically.
yeah,
essentially,
lockdown
yeah.
Batman. That's not
he's
like
self-imposed
Batman.
quarantine for 8 years.
No,
and-
1 second. He's always referred to by and large billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne, right? Recluse and all happens much later. So you don't get to make that argument. Like you know what? Fuck that guy. He just fucking kills people money and keeps them quiet. He knows this guy is shit.
Yeah, well, he does that literally in The Dark Knight as well, right? With Coleman
Yeah.
Reese. Yeah, he's just
exactly.
like, cool,
Like, I
here's your
think
money.
I see.
I mean,
see
it
my,
doesn't really pay him.
my thing about the reason why I brought up secret identities is because it's like, see, there are so many times where we've made excuses to get out of plans, or we've spoken to someone and we're like, hey, I'll just be back, but you disappear forever. like Superman
just
is just
vanish.
like, hey, I'll just go, and then he's gone. Like after a point of time, you would somehow realize that maybe I mean, unless he's an asshole, like even Batman, like just disappears, so like.
Yeah. This is an interesting kind of thing. If I may use it as a method to explain why the Marvel universe has become like so much more interesting in some ways, like how they've evolved the superhero, is that like Spider-Man and maybe Daredevil are the only two characters who have secret identities left in Marvel cinematic.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is just like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
you're Steve Rogers, you're good.
This is why I'm.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, come on. Even in the cinematic universe, right? That one line at the end of Iron Man 1, you know what? I am Iron Man.
Yeah, it's
it immediately breaks from every other superhero movie that's
Exactly.
come before it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Like forever. And
Which is interesting and weird, and because Spider-Man's whole thing is his secret identity. So I want to know, like, now that they've concluded the last film the way they did, like how they're gonna use that going
maybe
forward.
it'll be like the comic book Civil War arc, like where there will be consequences and repercussions to
and
it.
Ezekiel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that sort of shit. So
Yeah,
that might be interesting.
All they do it like the PS, like they'll do it like the PlayStation game, where they just replace his face altogether. If you guys are aware of
There's
that.
probably going to be some form of.
Guys, what was that about? At first I thought, wow, the graphics are so good. I was like, wow, were my eyes bad or some shit?
Yeah. No, they just changed his face.
So let's quick vote before we move on. Superman or Batman? Who has the shittiest secret identity?
Batman.
Superman.
Batman.
Tejas.
I'll still go with Superman. I mean, worse. I'll go worse than
तुम
Batman.
लोग है ना बैटमैन का पैसा खाया इसलिए बोल रहे हैं ये सब पता है मुझे.
What? No, 1 second. Let me just put my bat water bottle somewhere. I'm going to go, since we are talking about, I love the fact that I have chosen random questions, but they are flowing so seamlessly because our conversations are going in that direction. Since we discussed,
Segue, bhai, segue.
Of course,
Love
of
it.
course.
Professional.
We've discussed Spider-Man, and I have to bring up a personal unpopular opinion of mine, which is, here you go.
Is this what I think it is?
Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 3 is an amazing movie.
Duh. I don't think I don't think I've had a more duh moment. Spider-Man 3 is a flippin' masterpiece. Okay.
So
No. I'm not even saying anything because I want to see you to try to dig yourselves out of this one.
Easy. Oh, yo.
Like, yeah, go
listen,
for
first
it.
of all, I have an easy get out of jail free card because it's my opinion. But
Hey,
I
that's
will
like
say
just
this.
your opinion, man.
Okay, I'll tell you what. How about I approach it from this angle? Okay, let's not even contest the Tobey Maguire argument because I think Tobey is great. I think we all love Tobey, and we would love to see Tobey back in a subsequent Spider-Man film. I think we can all agree. Yes.
Yeah, fair.
yes,
All right, cool.
any day.
But I will talk about Spider-Man 3 because I think while it's a overstuffed movie, there are moments in that film which really kind of speak truly to the character of Spider-Man, which is the greatness being thrust upon his shoulders, right? Like the responsibility of being great. I think the ending, which is that the whole movie is about this idea that Aunt May has given her family kind of like engagement ring, said, yo, this is the girl, this is the one, you have to kind of go for it. And the whole movie is spent trying to kind of get to Mary Jane and ask her, yo, listen, you know what my life is like after Spider-Man 2, the ending, you saw who I am, you know everything. Now, despite knowing all that, despite knowing the truth, will you kind of be with me? And it ends on the most classic like Spider-Man emotion, which is like this kind of disappointment where everybody's kind of thrown out of the picture, best friend is dead, and the last shot is just them like where she's like, no, and I don't think I'm ready, and he gives the ring back, and they just like slow dance to the end credits, which was like super like melancholic and really heartbreaking. And it's like nail on head of what like Spider-Man comics were like when we were like, at least when I was reading it as a kid. And so for me, that the emotive part of it, I think they did a really good job there. And I know there was speculation that they were going to do a part 4 and then they'd figure it out and all that stuff. But that it ends so sad, and we'll never know now what happens until we see him potentially again, is what Spider-Man for me felt like. Spider-Man Blue, the any of the comics where he's lost Gwen Stacy, or that defining emotion of that whatever Spider-Man wants he can never get, but he's also this most like celebrated superhero of all time. So I think that was what was really great. Of course, Venom was kind of a misfire.
No, I refuse to agree
No,
on
hold
like
on.
disagree.
I think the Venom character was. I think Eddie Brock. I love Topher Grace. I think he's great. But I don't think he was. And even though I hate the Venom movie, and I hope you have that as a slide. I just think I think that the Sandman plot with Thomas Hayden Church, super, again, melancholy, man. Like that's what. And then at the end credits, it segues into Signal Fire by Snow Patrol, and it's like perfect, man. I left the theater like, oh my god, I'm done with school. It's like over. It was 2007.
I think what we'll do is, Rohan, you put your video off, I'll put my video
This
off.
is exactly what you
Good
said
idea.
last
Just
time.
go for it.
Let him just go for it. Let him
Just go for
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm
Tejas
sorry. I'm very
take
emotional. Very emotional about Spider-Man.
You know what? I feel 1 second. I feel immediately after this, like Spider-Man will slink down, hand Tejas a wad of money, and slink back up for
Yeah,
that.
really.
Sorry. I'm
Like,
a big
wow.
fan. I mean,
Yeah,
I know you guys
really.
are Sam Raimi fans, and I know you guys are Spider-Man fans, but I'm just like, I gotta,
Yeah. No,
I gotta-
get it.
Sorry.
Get
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Rohan has a
Now,
counterpoint.
allow me to rebut some of those points. All right. Allow me, please.
Go for it. Go
all
for it,
right?
man. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire, excellent Spider-Man. Sam Raimi Spider-Man, beautiful franchise all the way up until the end of Spider-Man 2. My opinion, Spider-Man 2 still one of the greatest superhero movies of all
Concur.
time. Doc Ock, Alfred Molina hits it out of the fucking park.
Best.
Never been a conflict like that. Actually, tremendously honesty. Now, you are talking shit about the melancholic thing. Because even if that is something that you agree with, I agree with you in the sense that yes, that desperation, that sort of dichotomy of always wanting to do his best, but somehow always coming up short is a beautiful aspect of being Spider-Man. I submit to you that Tom Holland in Spider-Man 1, especially at the end, once he has to do what he does with Michael Keaton and then her having to go away, that was actually a beautiful note on which to end one, because you were like, hey, this is not what I was expecting. This is definitely not the Gwen Stacy thing all over again. Yeah. But this is a very interesting close to this first movie, and it didn't come at the end of what was largely a turd. It came at the end of a movie that had also been brilliant through and through.
Sure.
I agree with you. Like even now, right? The Sandman moment for me, especially that last moment at the end where he just sort of floats away, beautiful. But that doesn't redeem the 2 hours that comes before it. In the same way that at the end of the prequels of Star Wars, the execution of Order 66, beautiful. That last shot on Tatooine, beautiful. But it does not polish the 8 hours or redeem the 8 hours
Okay,
of shit
we
that has
can't.
come
If
before
we're doing
it.
prequel stuff,
I rest my case.
One second. I'm
We
going to,
cannot
I'm going to,
segue
I'm
so
going to
easily
come in.
into
I'm going to
stuff.
come in. Yeah.
No, Mr. Menon, Mr. Menon, Mr.
I will
Menon.
not accept a
Mr.
prequel argument.
One second.
I will not accept a
Menon,
prequel argument
Mr.
here.
Menon,
One
Mr.
second,
Menon,
one
Mr.
second.
I can't.
Hey, you know what? Now I know why people scream on Arnab's panel. Now I understand. Like this went into a territory where I was like, oh shit, what have I
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I agree with Ron. Okay, I'm not saying it's the best movie, but I
I
don't
want to
think
end
it's
my
as
argument.
bad
I want to,
as
sorry,
people make it out
I
to
would
be.
like to conclude by saying that in general, the entire premise of this opinion is nonsense because everybody knows that the best Spider-Man that has ever been on film is Shamik Moore as Spider-Man / Miles Morales
We're
in
saying
Spider-Man
live
Into the
action, bro.
Spider-Verse.
Live action.
No, so if you're talking about Into the Spider-Verse, fantastic movie,
Yeah,
great
good
movie, loved it. My all-time favorite Spider-Man movie up there. Okay, done. Now, if you're talking about the 3 Spider-Man, and someone mentioned, okay, I think Jonathan mentioned that there are Tobey Maguire was an amazing Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield was an amazing Spider-Man, Tom Holland, to which
He's
I'd
good.
like to say, Tom Holland is great.
Yeah, he's good.
Andrew Garfield, please throw him out. I can't. That phase I want to forget ever existed.
I think it was poorly directed. That's my take. I think Andrew Garfield's a good
man.
actor.
It was
I think,
the
I
most.
think he's a good actor.
It was like the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, right? Everything was just sort of shot and put out there.
Yeah.
And it was just there. And it was just there.
Control.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And there was no art to it. What I like about Holland as Spider-Man is out of everyone who's ever played him, he's the only one that has really brought home the idea that at the end of the day, this is a kid dealing with a lot. A kid. The other movies, Spider-Man has still given you the idea that he's some sort of adult, young, or whatever. You really feel the fact of this kid being thrown into the middle of something that he was not prepared for with the way Holland played him. And I think there's something very credible and nice and sincere about that.
Yeah, that and the Queen's accent also is really like a solid touch.
No, but my thing is, right, with Tom Holland, what I love about him is that his voice perfectly suits Spider-Man also in that
Suits
the way
Peter
Rohan
Parker.
pointed.
It suits Peter Parker, like beautifully.
But also
Okay.
like a hi, Mr. Stark, like a high level. The moment his voice cracks, everyone's like, yeah.
I
wanna
still
see him
my
grow
favorite
up.
version of Peter Parker is still like the ESU kind of college like teacher's assistant Peter Parker. The one we preface this entire show talking about the Amazing Spider-Man the cartoon, which is a super watch and it's amazing and it's done the best version of like all the arcs in the comics kind of compiled really well together. I think that Peter Parker, the best version of that, which we kind of all grew up with, is in the PS4 game, and I think the PS4
Yes,
game
the PS4
has the
game
best-
is great Peter Parker.
yeah, that's like,
Oh my
isn't
God.
that
Peter
like? I mean,
Parker.
I don't know. That's the Peter Parker.
That
right?
is
It's
the
kind
Peter
of
Parker.
old.
PS4 game, great Peter Parker, great
So good.
Spider-Man, great
So good.
everything. That is a popular consensus.
game is
discussed.
outstanding.
It's
It is
just
so good,
it's
man.
just
It's so
done.
good.
Done.
The
Done.
game
It
is just
has
so good.
no. It has no right to be that good. Like
So
it's
No,
so
not
good.
at all.
I'm
Like
going to-
just none.
I'm going to interject over here. So the Spider-Man 3 opinion, by the way, was given to Spider-Man 3, by the way, was, if I'm not wrong. Tejas, was it your opinion?
Which one?
The Spider-Man 3?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just want to.
I
want to
kind of
talk
got
about
that.
Spider-Man.
I kind of got
Ruffles.
that. I kind of
Also,
got that very
come
early
on.
on.
It has given you such iconic moments. Don't you dare take it away, okay? It's
I mean, come
all
on,
about-
come
Okay,
on.
fine.
The-
I did not. Okay, if you're going by
Emo
memeable,
Spidey.
then sure. Like
it's a classic, man.
emo Spidey pulling the train and going that
it's
face.
just one of those really rare moments where
I love it.
I completely get what Sam Raimi was going for, but it's essentially the same thing that also happened to Age of Ultron, where there's what Raimi wanted to do, and there's what the studio wanted, and by the
Okay,
end of it,
fair
you
enough.
just sort of have this product that's there.
I think Ultron is great,
not-
by the way. I just think Ultron is a very economically like written film. Like for the amount of stuff that is packed in there, it all
Oh,
has
sure,
like some
fair,
story
it is.
value.
No doubt, no doubt.
It's quite
It is.
like I know a lot of people kind of rate it as the least Avenger, which is fair considering the caliber of the other films. But it is quite a good movie.
No,
It
it's
is-
not.
it is a
It
fun
is
movie.
definitely a good movie. I'm just saying that in terms of what happens when the studio wants something but the director's trying to do something, and those things.
And then they fire the
don't-
director.
And then they fire the director,
And then when
yeah.
another director gets fired, he replaces that director.
And it's
I
wild,
hope we're
right?
talking about Justice League at some point.
Justice League. But I think Tejas is right. It comes from a place of nostalgia, right? Like the superheroes
Yeah.
you grow up watching so for me, I was a hardcore Spider-Man fan because of cartoons. And I remember the first ever superhero movie that I saw properly and I enjoyed was Spider-Man. And I'm like, man, oh my
X-Men,
god,
probably,
I
right?
want to be Spider-Man. I've
X-Men,
always
not
wanted to be
X-Men.
Spider-Man.
You didn't enjoy
2000,
X-Men and
yeah.
X-Men
I say
2?
Blade and X-Men, first two films.
Blade 2. Blade
Yeah.
1 I liked. Blade 2.
Blade 2 is
I
solid.
loved.
Man, but I will say the Sam
Blade
Raimi's Spider-Man is our Dick Donner's Superman. Like it's very like important that set
absolutely.
the template for like
Oh, 100%.
you know,
100%.
the kind of positive, exciting.
Let's
superhero
remember
story.
this was a much simpler world in terms of superhero movies.
It
like,
was
back then.
there was like if you look at the movies, it's a very simple. It's a simple word.
And it's also got that beautiful
movies.
candy color palette
Yeah.
and there's lots of
It's
poppy
gorgeous,
like this
man.
things
It's
happening. It's
gorgeous.
fucking gorgeous palette.
Yeah.
And which is also why Spider-Man 2 is just iconic, right?
Yeah.
Just
So-
iconic,
so
iconic,
good.
iconic.
And the whole idea like that I understand now a lot. Like the idea of like New York being such an integral part to
Yes.
Spider-Man, which is why when they
Yes.
in this Far From Home one, it was like kind of like, oh, you're not New York, but it's cool, it's interesting. But that's like a huge kind of element of Spider-Man. Like he can't really swing around in Bombay, like he can't like
No,
how are you gonna do
he-
that?
He swings, the Patra falls down, the bridge is
That's
collapsing.
not gonna
There's
work.
no room for Spider-Man anywhere.
No
else.
chance. No chance.
He'd be wedged between two buildings. He's like, this is the worst place to swing on the. Ah, man, so stupid. And I will just say one last thing before we end this part of the discussion. No matter what people say, Venom in Spider-Man 3 was so cool. And I was like, I wish that would have been a full-fledged
There is
movie
one
with
awesome
that
thing
Venom.
that Venom does in that scene, right? On the construction tower, he writes a message with the Venom, like the symbiote kind of goo, and it's the exact same font of the cartoon, which is or the comic books, which says, the title art is done in the Amazing Spider-Man, that thing.
Yeah.
So he writes it in that font, and I was like, how did you know that typeface? Well done. That's so impressive. That is so impressive.
I like how that impressed you the most.
That,
Not
yeah.
character growth or makeup
I mean,
or anything.
I love
Oh,
Topher
wow.
Grace, man. He's like
That's
a
what
douche.
I appreciate about Tejas. He will look through an alien symbiote's problems. He's like, but yes, acha fan hai.
Sorry,
This
guys.
is such a fan.
Sorry, I'm
I
sorry.
don't care about the movie. Font acha tha. Font bahut hi acha tha,
Ah.
Yeah, it's
Man,
all
that
about
comic
good
sucks.
design.
Wow.
It's all about solid design.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. Like Steve Jobs said, design is how it works. Okay, it's not how it works.
All right, we are going to take a break. We're going to take a quick superhero break. Read out a quick super chat. Ramesh
Yeah,
Hassan
yeah.
said, big fan of Rohan. I'm here to hear him. His ability to recall random factoids at just the right times is impressive. And love from Pakistani fan. Oh, Pakistan,
Awesome.
hello. Welcome,
Whoop, whoop.
welcome.
Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
This is the and we've got 355 people watching. Wow, I can't believe it.
Nice.
Amazing,
You
guys.
guys know what to do.
Two things.
Smash that like
Smash
button.
that like button.
Smash it.
Smash it.
And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Now we are moving on to the next opinion. This is a current opinion, but tell me what you guys think.
Wait, when you say current opinion means it's
As in,
likely to change after
it's related to something that's been happening right now. I'll explain. Superheroes are not perfect and are destructive psychopaths, aka the boys is the correct version of heroes.
Oh, okay. So I need to preface this also by saying that I have not seen The Boys.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there is a half interesting story, but I don't think it's worth read. Does not bear repeating. But I don't mind getting into it at some point, so I will defer to you guys on this.
So I'll tell you what, Honest Trailers put it the best way. It's Justice League, but if everyone in the Justice League was an asshole, right? Like what if Batman was an asshole, Superman
No.
was an
It's
asshole,
just
everyone.
it's just basically it's Watchmen by way of the MCU in the sense that it's just everybody goes about doing some horrible shit, but with a batshit smile on their face.
Yeah.
And it sort of got that vibe, and it's Garth Ennis basically, so it's got that preacher vibe to it.
I actually really like Preacher though.
Oh, I love
that-
Preacher. I didn't like the show. I swear
didn't
by.
see this show.
Oh man, it's right here. Like in sense, I have the frame always right here with me. Preacher's always.
I've
right
never
here.
read the comics. I tried giving
Oh,
it a
man.
chance, and I'm
It's
like, I don't know
really
what
good.
is
No.
happening.
The
It's honestly
comic.
quite
Oh,
good.
dude, it is one of my absolute favorite comics of
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
time. Like hands down, one of my favorite comics of all time is Preacher. Yes, superheroes are destructive psychopaths, etc. All of that. I think that was the main thesis of Watchmen, right? Which is that special people are not going to save us aside from all of the other stuff. And I think what it comes down to is you have the fairy tale and then you have the cautionary tale about the fairy tale, and I think there's space for both. I also think that it's reflected the way superhero comics have gone, and in general just the way superheroes have gone, is it's a reflection of how the world has evolved. In a way, it's always been a reflection of post-industrial society, right? Where when you had Superman, etc., come out in the 30s, there was this idea of American exceptionalism, and America was building the future, etc., all of that. So Metropolis is like this utopia that he is trying to protect. But then over the next sort of 30 to 40 years, what happens is America gets sort of stuck in war after war. Attitudes start changing. Vietnam happens. Kennedy happens. All of that happens. And suddenly all those sort of ideas of exceptionalism get eroded to the point where you reach a stage from Superman to a stage where you don't even have to go as far as the Boys or Watchmen, right? Like Captain America had an arc, I remember, in the 70s when the whole Nixon thing was happening for real in America. There was, I think, Secret Wars or Secret Invasion is what the arc was called. I do not quote me on that.
Secret Wars.
But Secret Wars, that's the one. And the end of the arc is essentially the idea that the sort of head of this sort of evil organization is the president of the United States themselves. And it sort of ends in like this climax on the White House lawn where the president themselves puts a gun to their head and kills themselves before Captain America can get them. So there's always been this underlying understanding of and then Captain America gives up the shield and all of that happens. So there's been this going from Superman, who's a protector of utopia, to as Captain America, who even with the name America in his title, the best he can manage is to destroy a dystopia that exists. And so, the superheroes are not perfect. The worlds they try to protect are not perfect. And as a result of that,
which is what the entire crux of, so like even Watchmen was there, but even like Boys per se, the entire crux of the show is that everyone, like, we like looking at superheroes with like, oh my god, it's a superhero, oh my god, I can't believe it's Superman, it's oh my god, I can't believe it's like Homelander who's the Superman in that universe, but he's an asshole secretly, and it's like, he's obviously being controlled by something. And what I love most about the show is that they touched upon a topic that has now started being touched upon regularly in superhero movies: collateral damage.
Yeah, I think
the idea of lives being
a lot more vocal about it. I think it's because it's just like the the entrance into, or at least the the idea that this whole late stage capitalism is such a openly kind of visual thing to our generation, and that our generation has like a really high bullshit meter, and we can see through advertising, we can see through like very, very clear ideologies that are kind of being fed to us. And I think it's just, and then you see what is I think Alan Moore also said this thing about like how superheroes are just an American concept. It's a cultural thing. It's not, superheroes are not like, you can't just create a superhero everywhere, because of like all the like the political context that Ron was talking about and stuff, and how it kind of began. But I think I'm a like I believe in that kind of storytelling and the whole. I mean, we all love Star Wars, and we like the Luke Skywalker figure and what they kind of stand for, and the hope, and things like that. So I think, of course, you have.
But again, right? Sorry to interrupt you, Tejas. But again, we love Luke Skywalker. We love the idea of Jedi. But the second you take that story to a point where you need to have midichlorians, or you need to be special by blood. Which I'm not, but I'm saying where the idea is that you need to be special by blood.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I know. This country doesn't need a reminder about nepotism, but
because the argument, the simple argument is this, right? The thing that, and I completely agree with you. There is 100% a place for stories of hope, right? Where of stories of special people who do extraordinary things, all of that. But there is also the argument that a superhero is the most benign form of fascism on the planet. Here is essentially a superpowered being who acts by and large outside of the law as a vigilante, supplanting that law, behaving and doing that on behalf of some moral authority that some people have just sort of granted him. And you sort of worship him and want that done, and there's no accountability necessarily. So
all these things have been addressed in the movie.
Like they have, and I know. And
the plot line of Boys,
of course. And
even it's not just the Boys. It's addressed in a movie that I don't know if I've mentioned, The Dark Knight Rises. Let me just get into it a little bit. But like I've said this before. One of my favorite like dialogues in that is about like how structures become shackles, right? Like why do people? It's like a cyclical nature of society. Why do people kind of take the law into their own hands or become vigilantes in the first place, right? Like when people burn buses here and all that stuff, you're first like so offended, you just go like, oh my god, how can you do that? But then when you look at the powers that be and what they kind of grant people to do, is so minimal.
No, but
that at
there's
some
but
point-
Tejas, you can't draw an equivalence between
No,
an
I'm
actual group of people making their voice heard and some random
No, but
god
The
figure.
God complex.
I know,
Yeah,
but
society
okay. So
will
no,
want
if I
that
don't
complex.
talk
Huge
about, if I
difference.
don't take Superman as an example, if I take a Batman or a Daredevil or whatever these are, like non-powered vigilantes or people who try to take the law into their own hands only because they feel like nothing else is helping them, where the structures
Yeah,
actually
like
become shackles.
The
right? Like,
Punisher, for example, is a perfect example of someone
Amazing
who decided
story,
to just
man,
take
like,
shit into his own
amazing,
hands.
amazing
Yeah,
story.
amazing.
Yeah.
But
Which-
that's the thing, right? I appreciate the genre often takes time out to grapple with
Yeah.
these ideas, but not always, right? Sometimes a little more insidious than that. Here's a stoner thought that's kept me awake for a bit. We all love a good Avengers Endgame, right?
Yeah.
But I still have to go to bed every night living with the fact that my favorite movie in the world essentially tells the story of an American soldier and an American arms dealer saving the universe.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And a white Norse god. And I don't quite know how to square those things off in the end, right? When
think
I
it's-
also
I
when
think
you
it's-
say it's an American invention and
Yes.
it's this global phenomenon.
Yes.
And that's not grappling with those complexities always.
Yeah, I
So-
agree, and I think we can, it's just I think that's just the nature of how the world has progressed, right? Like because of like white people and the way they kind of dictated the
Yeah, but that's the
way
savior
of the world.
complex, right? The white savior
Yeah,
complex.
absolutely,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
That is
But
being
that's,
utilized
I mean, we're just
everywhere.
looking at only, if you look at it at a macro lens, it's just like you're looking at only 100 years, say, of pop culture coming from America, right? Like superheroes, things like that.
Yeah.
But the next 100 years don't have to be that way. I mean, they
Fair.
have like, yeah, and like whether it's a Black Panther or K-pop or anything that is coming from like where the spotlight of the world is now shifting and kind of moving towards this side. I mean, I think we can. I mean, all I think of is just like, cool, that was its moment. That's why Tony Stark has to die, right? Like he can't. There's nothing else he can add to the story if you want to live
Fair.
with this in this generation.
That's
right?
fair.
So I think it's okay. I think it's just the way of the nature of the world right now, and then like we gotta kind of move.
If you're speaking
forward from
about like perspectives, if you're speaking about things from different places coming in, like K-pop from this thing, like, do you ever think that there will be a chance where we will proudly exclaim Indian heroes are
Segue.
better? Yeah, no,
Solid
seriously, it
segue.
is very,
Solid
it
segue.
is, it is fitting right in the conversation. Do you ever think there'll be a chance where we can proudly claim that Indian heroes are better than the foreign parts?
Let me
Ever?
answer this with a small anecdote that my friend Harry used to say. He's like, Tejas, we'll never have punk music in India. And I was like, why? He's like, no, man, because punk music is black. It's like, it's American concept, He's like, here, the equivalent would be if somebody took a tabla and fucking, like, changed the tuning and did something weird or took something Indian and then basically does the equivalent of breaking, like, a clean amplifier. Like the whole idea of how distortion was invented is like somebody dropped an amplifier and the cone tore and then it created this sound. And that is just like, it's coming through a path of like of just the natural path of how that music was made. So he's like, if you have to have an equivalent in India, it can be this. But obviously, after being in such a globalized society, you don't have to only pull like references only from your own country. You can do different things. So I just wanted to preface this argument by saying I don't know the answer to this question, but I do think that it doesn't have to be better or equivalent. It has to just be its own
I'm not
Yeah.
okay. So I'll tell you what. Okay, I'm going to isolate Indian pop culture into two halves. Okay, there is the old pop culture where you have your Nagraj, you've got all your Chacha Chaudhary. Also, I'm going to count Chacha Chaudhary.
And
You've got
Sabu.
all your old school, and Sabu, all your old school superheroes, and you've got the new ones. The new ones are your Krish, Flying Jut, which they tried doing. A lot of people have mentioned one which would fit in the middle ground called this guy called Hero Bhakti Hi Shakti Hai. Only
What about Bhavesh Joshi, my
Children.
boy?
new generation Bhavesh Joshi. Yes,
I'm such a fan of that film, man.
a lot of people have mentioned it also, and I really feel like
It's
of all
fucking
the
excellent.
It's so
superhero
good, though.
movies, that's
It's
the
so
only
good.
one that stood out to me,
But
saying wow.
also, if I may, you're talking about there's the old generation and the new generation and all of that. But even
Yeah.
within the old generation, we don't see it, not because it didn't maybe necessarily happen in a language that you and I were reading comics in, but out of those old comics, like take for example something like Doga, right?
Doga.
Right?
What a
And
motherfucking badass.
Doga A, badass, right? Essentially the Indian equivalent of Batman, where essentially you take that and you translate that
Punisher,
into
Batman
what's
kind of
Punisher,
dude, yeah.
which is what is the most Bombay thing you can imagine. Basically,
Fair
literally a
enough.
fucking straight up pariah street dog, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Straight up, and that is your identity, and there's something fucking raw
Love
and
that.
beautiful about that. Plus, Doga actually had arcs in the 90s that very closely mirrored what was going on in. So, like, for example, Doga actually had an entire arc which if you even haven't read Doga, there's this great book called Bombay Fables by Gyan Prakash.
I am reading, yeah.
If you are reading, when you get to the
Nice.
90s era of it, there's a chapter about the 90s, they look through the lens of Doga, where basically what happened with Doga was that he actually had an entire arc mirroring the fact that, you know, the whole sort of the Babri Masjid thing had happened, the Mumbai riots had happened, all of this was happening, and there were arcs mirroring that in Doga. And mirroring that with the sort of idea that there were politicians who were just manipulating the two communities, etc. So even at that point, aside from just being simplistic stuff, which a lot of these comics sometimes were, this was sort of trying to, which is what a comic book or pop culture also does. Right? It tries to make sense of your world and give it back to you. And Doga genuinely tried to make that attempt and engage and do that. So there, I feel like the potential is there. If the right talent gets to the right story, the potential is there. I just don't think we've reached that stage where we have invested that potential, and that potential means everything from good scripts, good animators, good writers. If you're doing a live action film, good special effects, a great story, great technicians, all of that.
Yeah.
And
Potential is, and again, very important, our own idiom. Not necessarily
exactly.
just cut to cut ape what the cadences
Exactly,
and rhythms of an American
exactly,
superhero film are. What is the cadence of our stories? And
Which is
our
what
sort
Krish
of,
was, right? Krish was Superman meets X-Men, right? And you're
right?
like, okay, I
Which,
get
no,
it.
I feel like you've got to, like a Bhavesh Joshi goes
yeah.
back to the drawing board and imagines what an origin genuinely would mean.
A good origin story. It
In
is a
a
really good origin
country
story,
like
yeah.
India, not just cut to cut. अच्छा अमेरिका में इसके साथ ये होता तो this is a very different system. This is essentially a reinvention of the angry young man, right?
Like, Bhavesh Joshi was one movie where I'm not even kidding. There are very rarely do I see superhero movies, and I'm like, ये हो सकता है.
That's the
like,
thing, right?
I can be
That's
Bhavesh
the
if
thing.
I want
you know,
to
honestly,
be.
when I saw the poster, I remember like thinking about like when I saw the poster for the first time, I was just like, yo, what the fuck is this? You know, like the funny mask, you know, the lights.
The lights
and I was
and all
like, what is
that.
that about?
Yeah.
But like everything in that movie is so sequentially kind of explained. There's a good organic kind of progression to like how the character can, you know, from, you know, Anna Hazare till all the way till, you know, the fact that he uses by, it's like, it was really well thought out. I do think about this like concept about like how that, you know, American history is so like limited, you know, in some ways. It's like maybe American history is like maybe 300, 400 years. And like Indian history has got like so much, you know, to kind of pull from. And that's why when, you know, when you do the Bahubali and stuff, like fantasy for some reason like clicks a little bit more sometimes for me. But the second idea is that, you know, in the first Spider-Man movie, when Spider-Man is like swinging across like New York City, J. Jonah Jameson like, what the hell is this, you know? And he is allowed to be, you know, confuddled by how is this possible. But if you do Spider-Man swinging in New York City now, you're just like, oh, it's just another superhero. And I'm so glad that the Avengers are doing this, where they're referencing, like, can you make a time travel film or a superhero film without referencing the fact, like, or like a zombie movie, right? Like my first thing is like, if I watch a zombie movie now, you can't have the characters go like, oh, but what is he going to do next? Oh, he's coming towards me. Is he going to bite me? It's like, dude, you have to be like knowledgeable about the fact that there's been at least now 30 to 40 years of pop culture for you to kind of imagine what this situation is in. So it's become referential. And I think Bhavesh Joshi does both things really well. Like it is referential to the idea of superheroes, like where they drop like DC or Marvel, you know.
There's the idea that this understanding comes from somewhere, right?
It exists.
I'm not even kidding. A friend of mine literally called me saying, I've seen Bhavesh Joshi. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Let's take down people. I will create a VPN and we will hire.
It's sad how many times I've thought about it. It's sad how many times I've thought about it, not entirely jokingly also, but I'm like, feasible to hai.
Can I get away with it? Can
I guess thoda coding सीखना पड़ेगा. And that's where I get stuck. It's not anything else. Except I'm like,
I mean, yeah, if you want to be a superhero, you got to be like anonymous, right?
It's like this, right? It's like this. You put out
like
one
it can't just
joke.
be me and my NordVPN connection, right?
Your VPN will need a VPN. You're like, yeah, you have to be an anonymous or something to be like
You have to
a
be
real superhero today
yeah,
or something like, you know.
I
guess, I don't know.
By the way, that genuinely for me the best superhero of our time is Elliot Alderson from Mr. Robot.
Hacker Man.
Hacker Man.
Hacker Man.
Real Hacker Man. He's the man.
That's the thing, right? Like I'm not even kidding around. I have thought about it. There are days where I turn on the news and I'm like, oh my god, this is such bullshit. Then in my mind, I'm
I
like,
can't wait
fuck.
for the day they play this stream in court as evidence against
It's like I present Exhibit A in slide format.
I'm imagining all three of us standing in the witness box, being like, damn, we were young ones.
we were just like,
because of course the case has
should
taken
have-
30 years.
Please,
So,
we should have unlisted the video.
Okay, if you could be a vigilante, okay, right now, I tell you, okay, this is your chance. You can be a vigilante. Would you take up the offer? I'll tell you why I'm asking you this question. Oh no, because I've considered it. If I had a chance to become like Batman, train like Batman, if I had all the money at my disposal,
That's
I
the
would
privilege,
still not
right?
be
Like that's
Batman.
the whole.
I would still not be Batman because it's a after point of time, it's quite mundane.
No, but you're forfeiting your life, and also like Batman's whole thing is a story of vengeance. In the
Yeah,
greatest Batman movie of all time, Batman Forever, he says it very clearly to Chris O'Donnell's character. He says like, okay, cool, you'll go and kill Two-Face, and then after that you'll go to sleep. There'll be another face, and another face, and another face, until you realize that the thing that you were chasing was not Two-Face but yourself. Anyway,
Oh,
point
oh,
is,
hit
I
to
may have
you. Yeah.
paraphrased, but the point is. It's just that if you're gonna be a vigilante, you're giving up. It's a half life, man.
It is. It is like.
I mean, it's for a cause. I get it, but
Don't you get
but like,
bored? Like, doesn't Batman get bored every night?
but
Same
that's
thing
that's
going
what
on,
Michael
beating,
Caine
coming
says.
back.
Also,
Yeah,
he's like, it's
yeah.
time to now use your brain and your money and your intellect and support the city and the causes. People are like getting smarter. They're like causes to you can like maybe the idea of the superhero may kind of phase out because
I am sorry.
society has been molded by a generation of like reading comic books, and they're just like, oh cool, I can't actually become Bhavesh Joshi. This is for the court.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't
yeah.
actually become
I also
that.
am not actually going to become Bhavesh Joshi.
Neither am I.
None of us are. None of us
None of us are going to become Bhavesh.
None of
I-
us
my actually
explicitly are
argument-
saying.
want to
Your
also.
answer,
I am-
Tejas, is very detailed and beautiful, but my answer is very much simpler. If I had a chance to become a vigilante right now, I would not because I can't stay up past midnight anymore.
That is also true. I
That
also
part
can't
of my
sleep.
life is over.
Dude,
I can't.
After you turn 30, if you eat any food
Stay right
after
here.
12
I'll be
o'clock,
back at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
dude, if you eat food after 12 o'clock, you can't sleep, man. It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Dude,
Exactly.
I am loving like what Tejas said about like Alfred telling Batman to support more causes with his money. Like I can imagine Batman like pummeling someone and he's like, okay, now sign this change.org agreement to make sure that RA is not cut down.
Save the whales.
That's a Batman I can get behind, dude. I'm just saying.
Like Batman with protesting.
Oh God, no! I'm just imagining Batman trying to catch your eye outside the station. Sir, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and you're just gonna walk away. Fuck you and your
Zana.
clipboard, Batman.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Oh god. Okay. Pause time. We'll quickly look at people who are. Aarti Doshi said, Rohan, Captain Planet was and is the OG superhero. Do you agree? I love you, big fan. Okay. Thank you, Aarti.
Love
for the
Cap.
super chat.
love Cap.
Nice
Cap.
guy.
Even though I'm still trying to figure out what exactly Heart's power was. Still
Heart's
working
power-
on that.
Yo, forget all of that. Gaia, who's like this, we need to get like.
Wait, no, sorry. She said, Make. Did I read this correctly? She said Captain Planet. Yes, Captain Planet. Fuck yeah, let's go Captain Planet. Yes.
Gaia, played by Whoopi Goldberg.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know
yes.
that.
It's like,
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That has that cast of Captain Planet. Go look it up. It's like stacked. It's crazy. I think they
was-
all got them on a CRS thing, like.
I used to do an entire stand-up routine about Captain Planet. Like, and the thing is, when you're performing now, is that a lot of people don't remember Captain Planet, and it's too vivid in my mind because, like as Rohan mentioned, right? You've got fire with fire, earth, wind, water. What is heart going to do?
Guys,
Someone
one
shoots
second.
you, you're like, hey, heart, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Unless Heart is
got
the
it.
crux of the whole thing. Where if Heart
Yeah.
is not there and they form Captain Planet, he's just evil as
He's an
fuck.
asshole.
Like, he's
exactly.
just evil as
Dude,
fuck.
Heart
He's
is,
like Bizarro Superman.
is the OG. Okay, one sec. I just want to say, with Heart, Marty could communicate with animals. So,
I just
That's
want to
it.
say that without Heart, Ang was the avatar and fucked everybody up. So, fuck you, Captain Planet. A 10-year-old kicked your ass. How do you
and then
fuck that?
remember,
And he
Captain
didn't-
Pollution also was there.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Dude,
Dude,
and
that
he
guy-
literally kicked his ass, by throwing dirt on him. He just threw dirt on him.
That's why I love Captain Planet's biggest. Like, if Captain Planet comes today, you throw a plastic Italy, like, oh fuck, my weakness, shit. That's why kryptonite,
Captain
plastic.
Planet, you don't need to throw a plastic thing. You just like try it just fly up in the smog for 2 seconds.
Dude, yeah,
It'd be like watching
Captain
a
Planet
fly-
cannot come to
It'd be
Bombay.
like watching a fly at a fumigation. This thing, like you just go like, like you know, Hulk falls in Ragnarok like on that bridge. Like that,
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
you just, like a splat.
Captain Planet would die in Mumbai. Captain Planet would literally
Yeah, he
come here.
can't.
Captain
He
Planet, pollution, fuck that shit. I'm out
Captain
of here.
Planet would then have to be
He's out.
activated by Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart, and Asthma Inhaler.
Yeah.
Like, there'd be a 6th guy just called Asthma Inhaler. He doesn't even have a ring. He just actually holds his inhaler. That's his job. But he's super important.
Oh shit, that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Oh god.
Like even Heart makes fun of Asthma Inhaler guy. Like he's a touchy and shit.
Poor Heart.
Poor Heart, man. I think justice for Heart, guys.
Justice
I think
for
in the-
Heart, dude.
In the
Mati.
chat also, I want people to say justice for Heart.
Justice
I
for
think
Heart.
respect
Come on,
Heart.
guys.
Fuck Heart. Fuck him. Nothing will happen.
Fuck Heart.
Nothing will happen. Unpopular opinion. Yeah. This is what I came for. Are you not entertained?
Hey, once again, isn't that the popular opinion that Heart doesn't do shit? Like, we're just
Are we still talking about the
no,
cartoon?
no, no.
Or
We
are
are, I talk about life. Yeah. Fuck Heart. I'm a hearted person.
so sad.
I am
Oh,
driven
God.
solely by my liver. I've decided. That's my organ.
Oh man.
Oh, so stupid. This is, I love it. You guys, do you guys have 15-20 minutes? If you want to wrap up, I'll come to the last segment. Because if you guys are having fun, I'll do tomorrow's segments.
We can do
I'll do
we
it,
can
I'll do
do-
it.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
Did I give you the impression that I have a life outside of this? Like that I'm going to
No,
go
I mean,
through
it's
things.
always,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
always
and, you
polite
know,
to ask.
The
It's
only
always
time
polite to
I
ask.
asked to postpone this was to watch Arsenal kind of beat Man U.
Shut
so
your fucking...
that's-
I don't have time. I have to go. I'm sorry.
all.
Child.
That's
It's some
all.
bullshit. It's some bullshit. I want to be here with this poisonous man.
Okay,
Fuck your heart.
Heart.
This is a heart nonsense.
that is the correct usage of heart. That is the correct time to fucking use it.
I'm sorry. I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next topic. One last time, we've got 400 people. Okay, see,
sick.
I'm basic streamer. For me, all these tiny numbers are also big accomplishments. So thank you to all the 400 people watching.
Thank you.
Really
If
appreciate
there's
it.
any way we can get it to 420, that would be tremendous.
Of
fun.
course, tell your friends, tell them.
Tell your friends. Just, but
heart and
only
all.
20 more friends, okay? Don't tell more than that. Don't tell more than that.
I am reading the chats also. I'm loving it's a full discussion, argument, fighting that is happening in the chat. I really appreciate it. And also to all the people all the 400 people, two things. One, subscribe if you haven't and press the like button. We are going to continue with the next topic.
Smash it.
Topic. And because we have discussed my unpopular opinion, we've discussed Tejas' unpopular opinion, we will move to Rohan's unpopular opinion.
Let's hear
Tejas,
this.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Joker was the most nonsense piece of shit incel horse shit movie on earth.
Cool. Let's move on.
Done. Finished. Yeah, that's it. No argument there.
Okay, cool.
I have only one further sentence to add in my argument, which is just because it looks like Taxi Driver doesn't mean it is Taxi
Okay,
Driver.
fair. Okay,
Right?
I'll be completely honest. I saw Joker. I thought it was fine. I didn't like.
Eh.
I've not gone back to watch it like at all. I don't have any opinions on it. The only thing that I thought was interesting about it was how I liked all the Batman mythology part of it, where
Fair.
obviously
Sure.
if you know
Fair,
like
fair,
the lore,
fair,
just
fair.
the simple idea, the inception, the one idea that
Yeah,
what a
fair.
simple idea that if they are truly like, if you guys haven't seen it, sorry, spoilers, but if they are brothers, for me, that was interesting. The only other, and the second thing that was interesting was like, the, unreliable narrator. So you don't know whether he's like Thomas Wayne is actually a D-bag or not. It kind of takes me back to Batman, the Telltale series. I've spoken about it before. Really, really good game. And it's just has one new addition to the Batman lore, which is what if the Waynes were assholes and actually like gangsters, and it makes sense, like we have this
That's
kind
fair.
of rosy...
That's totally fair. But I feel
That-
like
so
what
that,
happened
that was
is-
literally the only two things I really liked about it.
And again, that's
I
what
love
sort of annoyed me a bit.
Joaquin,
It felt like it
but
sort of
that's about
floated
it.
that idea that, maybe Thomas Wayne was an asshole, but then it sort of takes that away also, for me, almost a little conclusively, with sort of all the evidence against his mother, etc., this, that, all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you put in something potentially very interesting.
Yeah, it
and
was
then
a-
you just
that-
sort
that's
of
it. That's
sort of took it away. And yeah, Joaquin was amazing, but I just wish it had been in service of so much more, right?
So I was listening to Fat Man Beyond with Kevin Smith, and he was talking about like there was an original ending which I think they've shot, but they did not like go with it, which was that the original ending of the movie was supposed to be where it kind of clears away, the padded room, all that stuff, and then it cuts back to the alley, to Crime Alley, and you see that the man who has come to the alley to shoot the Waynes is Joaquin Phoenix's character.
Oh, like
Okay.
that would
No,
have.
no. And he shoots both of them and he walks away, and then while he's walking away, he stops, he turns around, he says fuck it, and he shoots Bruce also, and then he just leaves.
Nice.
Which I thought
That would at least have been
yeah, it would
because
have had
Addy-
bold.
Addy-
It would
yeah,
have been
it
a
would have been
bold
bold.
choice.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that
I don't know
would
if
have
it
been a
fixes the
legitimately
movie in
bold
any
choice.
way, but I just
Had he not shot Bruce, it would be the Sandman Peter Parker thing altogether, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I killed Uncle Ben.
हाँ,
but like,
गलती से हो गया भाई, sorry भाई, that vibe.
Yeah,
But I understand that as a concept, from a conceptual Batman level, not your what is this portrait of the human psyche. I think all of that is bullshit. I think the comics do it far better. Just read like Brian Azzarello or like Grant Morrison. That shit is
Exactly.
they
Like
do that
Brian
well.
Azzarello's Joker is such a great freaking
Exactly.
book. Such a great book.
I just don't like. I don't like
say
this.
okay?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I have to say this. So for me, I am a Batman fan, not for Batman, but for Joker. Okay, for me, Joker
And
is.
you proved it.
Yeah,
the other
yes,
night.
I did. With the, you have no idea how much I have practiced the Joker laugh
It
in
was
the
great, though.
bathroom.
It was
I
great,
do
though.
my
It was
best
so
to
good.
do it.
Not a bath, but just
I'm
one
sitting
minute
with the
silence for
Batman and
anyone
Joker
walking
right now.
past that
Oh yeah,
bathroom,
shit!
right?
You're sitting with Batman and Joker.
Yes.
For all the,
Yeah.
You are, yes.
yeah, for all the people who are not unaware of what happened, I'll just give you a quick this thing. On Friday, that is, I think 30th October, we did a table read of The Dark Knight with Rohan Joshi as Batman. I was Joker. Tejas was playing the music. It's available on
So
the Grapefruit
technically,
channel,
we are
right?
sitting with Hans Zimmer right now. That's crazy.
Sastan Zimmer, yes. Yes, I am him. No, man, but it was great. Sorry, you did a great
No, that's what
job
I'm
of the
saying.
Joker, and you're saying
Thank
because you
Thank
are a huge Joker
because
fan.
I love the Joker, and I think my major love for the Joker started when I read The Killing Joke. For me, that is the definitive insight into the Joker. That's the definitive insight into the fact that Batman himself is just one crazy day away from flipping his shit, and Joker proves it. And I love that. I love the fact that the Joker's only there to fuck around with Batman. He doesn't care about anything, even though they have different iterations of him. He's just there. He's just there to mess around. That's what I love. He just wants to mess around.
The whole
And
Agent of Chaos.
Agent of Chaos.
thing, yeah.
And I was excited because I have seen all the Jokers that there are, from the old TV show Batman, Cesar Romero, to literally, which was the latest, the Gotham Joker, where they had two different
I gotta
versions
get
of
Cameron Monaghan, the
Great guy, okay.
Fallen Order kid.
Exactly. And he explored both. He explored the serious Joker, where he's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And he explored the crazy, unhinged Joker.
Yeah.
But when I saw the movie Joker, I had so many expectations that, oh my God, please be like Killing Joke, or just give me some backstory. Okay, he is a comedian with a failed life. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And then when it reached into like, okay, I'll shoot, and look at me, I'm an anarchist, and I'm standing, and everyone's like, oh my God, this guy's a hero. I'm like,
Yeah, it kind of makes him
It was just
to
a
be
lot
like
of
a bit of a
empty,
loser.
also just a lot of
Yeah.
empty imagery, right? That when it seems like it's got a lot of meaning behind it. You look behind the curtain and really,
Yeah, there isn't much holding it
what are you
together. I
saying? Like,
completely
what are you
agree.
saying? And
it's
and
a
that was-
guy with a gun. That is it. You've not given him
Oh
any
no,
character
that's
in
the
this
other
thing.
thing. And this is the other insane thing. It's a white guy with a gun. If
Yeah,
that dude
oh
was brown
shit.
or black, that movie would have been over in 20 minutes. It would have been gunned down by fucking cops in 4.5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing that really, like, oh God, I get it. Like your life is hard. Get your shit together like the rest of us. Like Arthur.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Imagine if the Joker was played by like a minority, and that kind of just changes the entire kind of movie. Like then what does that mean? Like for
Like,
the way he's
Because
kind
there's also look like, and there's also just, and the thing is, and what makes doing a Joker movie or a standalone Joker story harder is because unlike so many other characters, there's so much to do with the Joker. There have already been so many brilliant interpretations across media, right? Like there is, don't forget, like the Arkham City Joker,
Of
which for me,
course.
one of my favorite Batman Joker arcs in recent times
So
has
good.
been
So
the
good.
first two Arkham games, right? Fuck, what an arc!
incredible
Right?
stuff.
Yeah, like what an arc. Just what, yeah, there we go. Right? What an arc. What an arc that is. There we go.
Very nice.
There we go, right? And that is,
What a mark.
then there's like your Arkham Asylum one,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, nicely done.
And
Thank
there's
you.
your
Very
Arkham,
nicely done.
Then there's your Arkham Asylum book one, right? Where you go from
Yeah.
Agent of Chaos to the opposite argument where he's like, he's hyper sane.
Yeah.
The problem is he sees the world like with zero of the perception filters that shield our judgment. So in fact, if anything, this guy is getting raw data, and that's
Yeah.
what's put his mind where it sort of put him. And then you
I do
just
like
sort of
that
get
interpretation a lot more.
But
Like
then
I mean,
that's-
like I like the Agent of Chaos thing.
I like the other one. Yeah.
I like the criminal gangster.
But that's again,
one
I like the
also.
criminal gangster thing
it
also.
all
But-
boils down to the same personality, that he is not a crazy man. He is a sane man who has seen enough of the world that has pushed him over the edge. So on and so forth. Every character has that bit of personality in it. This Joker was a crazy man who was like, oh, this happened and that happened, and I'm feeling so sad. So I'll take revenge. And I'm like, come on. That's not
Also, how do you have a movie about the Joker called The Joker be so utterly lacking in humor? In the
yeah,
sense
exactly.
that, you know that moment
Full
where
agree.
where he opens the door for the midget and lets him out?
Yeah,
I'm like, 15 more scenes like this.
Yeah,
please.
exactly.
This is the
Yeah,
Joker.
yeah.
This is the Joker. This is the Joker. This is dark and horrible and hilarious all at once.
Yeah, I think we
This
missed, you
is
know,
the
like
Joker.
one of the best arcs I remember. It's not even his movie, but in Mask of the Phantasm, like where the Joker kind of is like sits as this zany kind of like, it's like really
Yes.
horribly dark, but
Yes.
it's also really funny. And Mark Hamill, man, he splits the difference really well. Where, you know, like if you take their version of like Return of the Joker, where they've taken Tim Drake and they've kind of made him a crazy person, they like institutionalized him.
Yeah.
It's so dark, but it's still the same character we've been watching in the Batman animated series, who's like silly and funny and has done Christmas with the Joker and all that stuff.
Yep.
But you can just like mold, man. Like, and that for me, I completely agree with Rohan, man. Like, I think the idea that the Joker is not a seriously unfunny movie is a travesty. To be fair.
It is, right?
You want to make a Joker movie? I will put one coin into the hat. Make a Joker based on the Flashpoint Paradox Joker. That Joker movie is something that I will watch. For all the people who don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm sorry, I'm giving away spoilers. Flash travels to Just watch. Okay,
it's
okay, okay.
such a
It's too
good
big.
one.
It's
It's
too
like
big.
one of
Code
the
of honor.
best
It's too big.
spoilers.
Sorry,
of
getting
all
a little excited. over
Flashpoint
here.
has some of the best spoilers. Don't give them away.
yeah.
Flashpoint is literally best.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is,
okay.
it's fantastic.
Okay.
Man, if you guys like Flashpoint, I mean, like, did you watch the conclusion of this whole DC continuity? It was so nice, man. It was like, I thought it was well done.
What?
They
The
did
Crisis
Flashpoint.
arc? The Crisis
They did
arc?
Flashpoint Paradox to start that whole continuity in the DC animated movies,
Okay.
and they did 13 films. And then they concluded it with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
Yes, I saw
It's a
that.
mouthful of a title.
That is a mouthful of a
Yeah,
title.
that is.
But
quite a lot.
it ends really like it. They
Okay, I should
thread
check
the
it out
needle
because
quite
actually
well.
Flashpoint Paradox was the last one that I saw because it
Same.
was just so good that after that I'm like,
Yeah.
I just can't
okay,
bring
so
myself.
if you want, then check out Suicide Squad Hell to Pay because it's like almost a direct sequel to it. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's quite good. I thought
Alright.
they've done some good shit in the DC animated universe, man. Like honestly, they do a much better job
Dude,
handling some
DC
of the characters.
DC
than, like,
animated
Constantine
universe is
really well handled.
Mwah! And
Yeah,
again, when people come to the Marvel versus DC debate, obviously I'm not going to get into that territory, but yeah, if you have any movie records, let us know. I think Rohan is frozen, huh?
No, he's good.
fine.
He's good.
Am I here? Am I still here?
Yeah.
He had a strategic intervention.
Okay, my
in his
internet may
Hollywood
disappear for
camera.
a second.
No issues. It's already disappeared. His internet's.
I accidentally hit the wrong button and turned my modem off for a second.
I
So-
know.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
So I
But
think we've collectively agreed, right? Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix, great guy, but terrible movie. Sorry,
Tremendous
internet.
performance, not in service of good movies.
Sorry.
Completely agree. I just think its worst thing is that people are indifferent. Like at least I feel like we are indifferent to it. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it much.
Awesome. I'll come on to now we are in the last two topics. Okay, I told you what the last one will be. The second last one is just.
Wait, you told us what the last one is?
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
do
yeah.
the
Spoilers.
rapid fire. Okay.
Ah,
the
gotcha.
Last two topics. Second last one is, and this is because I was watching something. So, cringy superhero movies are much more fun than the good ones. AKA
Oh.
Daredevil, Batman and Robin, Ghost Rider.
Yo,
Name
listen.
some.
Yo, I'm gonna go here. Listen, anybody who knows me well, and me and Jishnu and Dinkar, and they keep making fun of me for this. But actually, I think they completely understand what I mean. But I'm a huge fan of average cinema. Okay, I love terrible movies. I love it because I don't have to like be an academic. I just love terrible shit. Fantastic Four. I mean, it was brought up earlier.
Oh my God, I love it. I love
I just love
Fantastic
it 'cause it's so
Four.
dumb. I don't have to think about it. It's cool. It's chill. So when I say, I mean, of course, I appreciate great cinema, but like, it's if I may use a music analogy, since I happen to be one of the
Okay, yeah,
industry.
sure.
It's like the music that I'm trying to make is like I'm trying to make like something significant, but it's not loopable all the time, right? Like you have to I want to try and make music that people pay attention to, but at the same time the industry we're in is very playlist driven. So if you put Fantastic Four and Daredevil and Johnny Blaze, the Ghost Rider in a playlist, it's a chill playlist, man. You can keep hitting that. You can smash that playlist all the time. But if you put like The Dark Knight, freaking name other good movies, Avengers, it's like you can't always.
I
like,
get
which is
where you're
why
coming.
I always recommend like Ant-Man to people who haven't seen like any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I always say like why don't you watch Ant-Man first, because it's like a great gateway kind of film into the thing. It's not got much to do with everything else. Just watch it, enjoy it, and then you kind of get a feel of what the comedy is like, and just like what the
True.
just the level of like storytelling in a very general sense. Of course, there are better and worse films than that, but yeah, man, I'm okay with it. I don't think they are better films, but I enjoy them.
I've been binge watching Ghost Rider, and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't.
Because of
continue
Johnny
this.
Blaze's
No,
six pack, dude. Nicolas Cage.
No, man, there's a simple problem, guys, which is that there was a better, significantly more entertaining Ghost Rider in Agents of Shield. Like
what
they
I heard,
did
yeah.
Ghost Rider
Yes,
right in
yes.
Agents
We
of
did it,
Shield.
guys. We did it. Take your
Did it.
shots.
We
of
managed to
vodka
get
because
Agents
we-
of Shield. Agents of Shield has been brought up. Agents of Shield has been brought up.
A question:
Agents of
How was the Ghost Rider on Agents of Shield? Go for it. No, for real, tell me.
Fantastic. Ghost Rider, for real, on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the arc was spectacular. What they did was they started off like the season with this Robbie Reyes arc.
Right.
Fucking great Robbie Reyes. Fucking great Ghost Rider. They
I've
really
not
got
read
sort of
any
dark
Robbie
and-
Reyes Ghost Rider comics, so what
You
is
don't
his
really have
character
to have
like?
to get
And
into it.
yeah, and I've not seen Agents of Shield, so sorry. That is
It's fine. It's fine.
Opinion
It's
time,
fine.
majority, don't
Nobody's
worry.
perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's fine. So they do it. And what happens is obviously Ghost Rider is very expensive VFX to do.
yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So they sort of, out of the 24 episode season, they sort of have him in this arc for like 7-8 episodes. Then they come up with some amazing excuse and then he fucks off for 15 more episodes.
Oh shit! Oh god, this is like Batman in any of the DC shows. It's
And
like,
then
oh,
he
he
just sort
you
of
just
comes
missed him.
back.
Oh, you
He
just left.
just sort of no, but to their credit, in that season is some of, I'm going to put my money on and say some of the best Marvel writing like out there. That sort of season 4-5 of Agents of Shield is wild because they
He's in
do
season 4. Holy shit!
There are seven
one sec,
seasons.
seven
Yeah,
seasons
that I
and
know.
they just
Seven
finished.
seasons.
But I didn't know he
Yeah.
was in season. Okay, cool.
But
cool.
4 and 5 are some of the strongest writing in like straight. They do the what if universe. They do sort of all of
nice.
that. It's amazing. And
I get an earful from Jishnu.
I know.
all the time. So I'm
I
well
know.
aware. This is
I know.
like me trying to tell people to watch Rebels or like or
Fair.
something like that. It's like
I still have to give Rebels and Clone Wars a chance. I have
Same.
Not,
Wow, I
I
feel
still
like
have to give both those things. I
You
feel
know, see,
seen.
okay,
I
I
feel
was thinking
seen.
I'm in a
Wait,
great
Clone
perspective
Wars?
right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Clone Wars.
It's
Clone
okay.
Wars.
I'm not.
Standard.
I'm a gracious acceptor of everything.
I-
It's okay.
I
All I
like-
can say is please watch Clone Wars. It's the greatest thing. It's amazing. It's the birthplace of the quality of Star Wars we're watching right now. Like man.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
I mean, you guys know that. I'm not. Okay,
I
whatever.
mean, yeah,
whatever.
obviously, Dave Filoni's involved, right? Like he went off. to
You
do
know,
that, right?
he's an airbender. You know.
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
He's
He's in fact an airbender. Gotta
I
give it a
have-
shot now.
Yeah. You
Friends
must.
of
You must.
mine-
He is okay. Yeah. I mean, I have this.
No,
whole
it's fine. Go
tweet-
for it.
I
Go
have
for
this
it.
whole tweet thread, which is a separate argument, but like about why Arsenal and Star Wars are the same guy. But I'll leave it for
You know
later.
what?
Go home,
Tejas,
Tejas, you're drunk.
But I will
don't
say
you
this.
dare.
Go
Yeah,
home, Tejas,
don't
I will
you
say this.
dare.
I will
Don't
say
you
this.
dare.
Go home, Tejas, you're
I will
drunk.
say this that that Dave Filoni is the true son of Lucas. He's the true heir to to the Lucas Empire. This is my and I think it's just because of the work he's done in Clone Wars.
I mean, I feel like a Mr. Kevin Feige may have something to say about that. Like,
Kevin Feige. I mean,
I don't
he's
think I would
Marvel.
disagree on that
Kevin Feige is
perspective.
the new
Yeah.
Stan Lee. I think he picked out exactly what Stan Lee did to make Marvel comics work in the 50s, 60s, right? Give them personality and not make them mythological characters. That's what Kevin Feige did in the movies. Dave Filoni has taken the will of the Force, the WHILLS, and taken and put it into. And Jon Favreau is just like a great enabler and a great director and a big
of
name.
course, John Favreau's the
Yeah,
best.
he's
Everybody
amazing,
knows
yeah.
this.
I mean, we
I
excuse
mean,
Lion King, but yeah.
Mandalorian. Oh,
Yo, man,
okay, yeah,
I love
like-
that show. Also, who knew that all the Mandalorian needed to become more awesome was some Timothy Oliphant? Like, that's it.
My God.
And suddenly,
Dude, and
just
Timothy
better.
Oliphant just gets better looking with age. It's like
Dude,
Man,
it's damn
he's
irritating.
not-
It's
It's
damn
unfair.
irritating. He's got like this Helen Mirren thing going on.
He's
It
like-
doesn't,
he's hot,
it
man.
doesn't,
He's
he
crazy
doesn't
hot.
even count as a superhero, but Timothy Oliphant as
He's a
Hitman
real-
also.
yeah. Also, Timothy
Dude,
Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant should play Reed Richards.
Yeah, he would be great.
Yes.
He's also like top 3 episodes of Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Timothy Oliphant, I would put him at number 2 after Bill Hader, but the funniest guy. He's so funny. He's
I
amazing.
will have a go. Some amazing records. If anyone in the chat is interested, I will put this in the comments as soon as the video is done. On before we continue, sorry, but cringe movie that you have enjoyed and you can't. I'm sorry, but it's
No,
I'm
yeah, sorry,
very
my bad, my
personal about. No, it's fine. See, you never follow a plan. You go wherever the hell you want. This is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way.
You
Thank
really
very
are
much.
embodying the spirit of the Joker.
Yeah.
You
Why?
are.
Look,
See,
I
that's
don't have a
the
plan.
That's the plan. But that's what it is, right? Like, I mean, a lot of people think Marvel is amazing, but no one has seen the original Avengers. If you've seen the not original Avengers, there was an original Justice League also that they had with, which was very
There was an old
badly done.
Spider-Man movie.
There are a few.
There were a
Yeah.
bunch of Hulk TV
Captain
movies.
America,
Yeah,
Dolph
yeah.
An
An
old
Dolph
Captain America
Lundgren
movie.
played
I've
the
seen that
Punisher.
also. Seen
Yeah.
all of that. Seen
Like-
the old
Fantastic
Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
I feel apart from Catwoman, all the other cringe superhero movies win the cake. All the other
I think if we give Catwoman another 10 years, we are gonna love that shit, dude. I'm telling you, watch it now. Also, it's pure joy. Also, man, it's Halle Berry, dude.
Yeah,
We
okay.
stand Halle Berry, dude. We stand her.
we do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the character. I'm saying the movie.
We stand Halle Berry as Storm, 100%.
Oh,
We stand
yeah.
the shit out of Halle Berry
We
as
stand
Storm.
her as everything. We will.
Right,
I
okay,
accept
fair.
Halle Berry in every form. It's fine.
Okay, fair.
Do you have a
Especially on
movie?
Hot Ones. Oh my god.
Oh, she's there. She's come on Hot Ones
She's-
also.
Yeah, she's smoking. She's great.
Dude, I love that show. What a great format. You make
super
people eat
duper
chicken
format.
wings and have a chat. Wow, what
That's a
how
great
smart.
format.
Great, great, great.
Unpopular next opinion. I know what to do. Wherever you are, I'll send you chicken wings and hot sauce. You guys have a movie? Cringe movie? Anyone?
A cringe movie that I love.
Okay, what is your definition of a cringe movie, though?
Something that's so bad, like Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. Not the first one, second one. That it's like people
Oh,
are
one
like,
of those.
"Ugh." Oh,
Gotta have one
Fantastic
of
Four:
those.
Silver Surfer.
You know, I was gonna defend Silver Surfer. No, but they got Lawrence Fishburne to voice the Silver Surfer, which I thought was like pretty
Amazing.
solid.
And then decided to write him no good dialogue.
pretty much.
And then like, hey, guys, we got Morpheus from the Matrix. Shut up. Fire the writers. We don't need anything.
Choose the blue pill, red pill, or the silver pill, baby.
Silver Surfer's the original Lube Man, guys.
He is.
Oh shit! Yeah.
He's the original Lube Man.
Yeah, I think I like those movies. I like the what's it? I like the Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, great.
I mean, whatever.
one.
The first one is good. I remember.
No,
But I only
the-
like the second one because they introduced the Fantastic Car, which is I always thought the most ridiculous thing, but it was
It
amazing.
is the most ridiculous thing, but just completely unrequired. But do I have like a particular favorite out of all the cringe ones?
Oh, Batman Forever or Batman Robin.
Oh, if Batman
and
Forever
Robin.
counts, then Batman Forever.
I
No,
can't
Batman
count it
Forever.
as a cringe movie.
Batman and
because
Robin.
it is my all-time favorite Batman.
Batman
movie,
Forever
so.
is my favorite. Like Batman. I feel like Jim
It's the greatest
Carrey's
Batman
Riddler
of all
is
time.
one of the most underrated villains in the history of comic
He
book
is.
movies.
He is.
It is a
Yes.
barnstorming,
So
That movie
scene-chewing,
is so
astonishing
good.
performance.
Because it's got an actual Batman, like a Bruce Wayne arc that is so
Yes.
uncreated in the film about like his dreams.
Exactly.
And how he kind of takes
It
his
is a
dreams and
fucking
puts-
tremendous movie.
It is so good. Just guys,
Yeah.
it's see through the layers, guys.
My answer is Batman forever. My answer
I
is
was-
Batman.
It's
I was
not,
gonna-
I mean, for me, it's not. I can't.
It's
I
not a
can't call
cringe
it
movie though. I never
can't call
that,
it
which is
cringe.
why I didn't.
So, but
It
that's
came
what
to
I'm
my
saying.
head, and I went. I don't think it's a cringe
I'm
movie.
not
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
Batman
Same.
forever.
Yeah, I can't put in that.
Cringe
category.
territory comes to Batman and Robin, where you
Batman
have
and
the bad
Robin, possibly.
skates,
Sure,
bad
sure,
nipples,
sure.
bad
Dude,
bod,
what
bad
about the-
credit
yo-
card.
I'm gonna say
Phantom.
Batman and Robin just for the freeze puns.
Yeah. Yo,
Just for the freeze puns.
Sahil, what about the Phantom, man? The Phantom has got some solid.
Hey, Phantom
cringe.
also. I remember watching it as a kid
I
and not
enjoyed it.
thinking it was
Great
cringe.
movie.
I enjoyed the fuck out of
Oh,
the
I
Phantom.
enjoyed the- yeah, Billy
Billy
Zane
Zane was a
movie.
very good Phantom. Billy Zane
I
was
didn't think
fine.
you were going to talk
alright?
about Billy Zane. but
Billy
let's do
Zane
it.
was
Phantom
fine. I
ever,
had no
okay?
problem with Billy Zane at all. Okay, actually, you know what? If I had to pick of my cringe movies that I really enjoy watching, I don't know if the two of these even count, but from way back, of course, there's Flash Gordon.
Hey,
is Flash Gordon.
We can't accept it as a. It's a
Okay, it's a
pine
classic and it's a vibe on its own.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but then in that case,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put two contenders in here. One is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze,
Love it. Okay. Love that movie.
and number two,
Superman 4: Quest for Peace.
no, no, I will do you one better, sir. Masters of the Universe.
Oh, yeah.
I can watch Masters of the Universe. It's a terrible movie. It is objectively a terrible movie.
Shit, I don't
but-
think I've seen it.
Because
No,
That
I
guy-
have a very
who
sentimental
plays,
association to Masters of the Universe because it came out when I was something like 7 or 8 years old. It came out in Bombay in theaters. It was out in
Who
Eros
plays,
and it's
this
still
guy?
Dolph.
Dolph
yeah,
Lundgren
Dolph.
plays He-Man and Frank Langella is Skeletor. Guys, you don't know
What?
it, but that's Frank fucking Langella playing Skeletor. Go look it up.
Now I must watch it.
Yeah. But it is the most unskeletor ever.
It is
White
not,
scales.
He-Man is not like He-Man. Just forget it. It's not.
Oh, okay, I don't
wait,
know if this
Courtney
counts as
Cox
a-
is in it. Courtney Cox is in it also.
Maybe she turns up in a lot of things.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
in Bruce Springsteen.
And I
videos.
watched Masters of the Universe, and the reason I remember it is because it was in Eros, and I was 7 or 8 years old, and my dad took me. And the best part is, I still remember, over the facade and the entrance of Eros, they had constructed the entrance to Castle Grayskull.
Wow.
Oh.
And
Impressive.
walk into the theater, you had to walk through like this.
We need to find a
And
photograph
I'm-
of that.
And I'm sure it didn't look great to the adult eye. But to 7, 8-year-old me,
Oh, yo,
I
that's
was in
legit.
Eternia. I walked through that this thing as far as I'm concerned. I'm in Eternia. This is
Yo,
amazing.
man, do you,
Life
this
is good.
This must be amazing to like. I don't know if anybody has a photograph of this, but this sounds like
I,
a-
it
that
was
would
a
be
very
so
long
cool.
time ago, but oh man, it was
Incredible,
at
incredible.
Eros and it was beautiful and it was amazing.
Okay, cool. Movie, yeah. I think I can't say Superman 4: Quest for Peace, but yeah, man, I'm gonna check out Masters of the Universe. This is
Yeah,
interesting.
please do. Please. It's so bizarre.
please,
it's
please
so
do.
away from He-Man. Like all these movies,
It's
that's
wild.
the best part. They are so away from the source material. And you're like,
Tejas,
"Maza aa
if
raha
you
hai."
want,
Enjoy.
I will do a watch along with you on
Boom.
Discord. Like I will happily do this. Like
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm
Let's do
on.
it. Let's
I'm
do
on.
it.
I'm on.
Easy.
I'm
Yeah,
absolutely on
let's
to
do,
do
let's
this.
Oh man, man, so stupid.
It's a terrible. I don't know why we're doing this to ourselves,
It's so
but
bad.
Oh, man, because it's just you got hey
it's fine.
to know where we're going. You gotta know where you
Embrace
came
it,
from.
embrace it.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Last super chat, Diljit Singh Narwal said, enjoying this panel very much. Good to hear 3 comic book nerds that are also cool and successful. Oh, thank you so much.
Spoilers.
You
Please
missed
link
the
us to
first
whatever
half,
show
yeah.
it is that you are watching.
But he said, any love for Raj comics? Well, we already covered it
Yeah,
in the
no, I love Raj
Indian
Comics.
Comics part, so always great.
Love, definite love. Definitive
And yeah, we are at the end. And as I discussed, we have a very special round that we are going to play. It's a very simple round. It's called overrated
Good.
or underrated. I am going to read out a superhero, and you have to tell me whether the superhero is overrated or underrated. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Yes. of
Chat, are you ready to go? Chat, yeah, I am ready to go. Okay, that was the chat voice. Before we start
Legit,
again,
legit.
course.
Yeah, yeah.
Unison, perfect
Oh,
unison.
legit.
Oh,
Yeah.
they-
It's
they
just-
all
you got
are-
them trained. You got them
Yeah.
trained like
it's an entity. All of them is one high-pitched entity.
like Unity from like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, chalo. 1, 2, 3. Overrated, underrated. Groot.
Underused. Underused.
I think I underused, yeah, as well, yeah.
Overrated. It's like, come on, man. He's like, he can
Wait,
just grow shoots and all that. What's the point of his
Yeah.
existence?
I think, yeah, I think.
I'll have
agree
you
with
know
Ron.
that Thor's axe
Yeah.
is a bespoke Groot handle.
I will have you know that Vin Diesel has a single out, and it's by Kygo. And I don't know why this is important, but you have
But then
to
how
know.
is it Vin Diesel single if it's by Kylo?
Yeah.
No, it's Kygo has produced it.
Oh,
And
nice.
he's also
Nice.
tuned it, I guess.
Nice.
But whatever.
Nice.
Man, I would win. I would say Groot only. Like I would respect Groot only if I was in the role of Groot, where I got paid millions of dollars just to say different iterations of I am Groot in a studio, like for 1 hour, and I'm like, lifetime is done. But otherwise, as a character, nah.
You're
Cute.
saying overrated?
Yes, overrated. Let's see. Chat is saying Groot is overrated. Groot is fuck all.
I love
Underrated, overrated. Quite a lot.
You're one of those
overrated.
people that was okay with them cutting RA, no? You're one of
No, you're going to see me standing with a Batman mask saying, "Do not cut RA." Sign my petition. All right, next one. Hulk. Overrated, underrated.
Underrated. Super
Underrated.
underrated.
I part-time agree, part-time disagree.
underrated.
I'm
The
not-
thing with the Hulk is they haven't even gotten into the meat of the Hulk stories they can
Thank
do.
you
right?
for saying
They
this.
haven't even gotten into
Thank
like
you.
Planet Hulk, World War Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh my
any of
gosh.
that
Yo,
shit.
listen, they've not even
Like-
introduced like Rick, no
Red
body
Hulk,
wash,
She-Hulk, all the different versions of
Scar,
Hulk also.
you know,
Nothing.
Red Hulk. Yo, listen,
Man,
Hulk
get-
is a beautiful, amazing character, and it's great. It's a great
Add the Sentry to the
Frankenstein's
MCU
monster
and then
thing.
start building up towards World War Hulk. Let's do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
I just
have
think it's
got a
underrated.
lot of underrated Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, nice Immortal Hulk. Wow, some amazing, amazing recommendations.
Good,
so
good,
Hulk,
good
well
on. I
done,
love that.
100% agree
Love
with
it.
chat on that. 1
well
million percent.
done, guys. Well done.
that.
All right. On that note, then the next guy. I wait. Thor.
Overrated.
Thor was very overrated
I
until
think
the Dark
I think
World.
it's overrated.
Then Ragnarok came out. And now Thor is underrated because Thor is the best.
I think the Thor character is, I don't know. It's not. It's I like Chris Hemsworth as well. I think Ragnarok is a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. But I'm ambivalent. I think to it. I don't think it's
So
overrated.
I
think it's overrated.
legit, and I had no idea this question was coming up, but I legit rewatched the first Thor movie yesterday. Like
I know, I saw
24
your
hours ago.
stories. Yeah.
24 hours ago, I rewatched the first Thor movie, and I had very mixed feelings towards the first Thor movie because I remember thinking it quite middling when it first came out.
Yes.
But on rewatch,
Yeah.
it is a tremendously fun movie.
Yeah, it's good
especially
fun. I
it's
agree.
great fun. Also, it's twice as fun because
He's
you
dyed his
already
hair.
have the Iron Man movies have come out, gone, this, that. It's already looking shaky for the Marvel universe at this point. Then comes this character, which already for me, I think one of the hardest to translate to screen, and I was holding my breath, was Thor. Because how do you translate this very Shakespearean fantasy, Norse god, this thing? And then they give it to Kenneth Branagh, who plays with the Shakespearean family drama aspects of it beautifully, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
Agreed.
like just rewatching it, there are scenes with Loki, Anthony Hopkins, and Thor
Odin,
that
man.
are
It's
tremendous.
all about
right?
Anthony Hopkins.
Like
yeah.
it's tremendous. Like those scenes are tremendous, like barnstorming, like Shakespearean plays happening in front of you.
Yeah.
Which is then what really sells it, though. I realized because yesterday I rewatched it with somebody who'd never watched it before. Is the humanity Hemsworth brings to the character the second his powers are taken away from him, right? Like he is so tremendously, he's sincere, he is goofy, he is funny, he is likable, he is warm, and it takes what could have been a very clunky, cringy sort of
Dolph
fantasy, like very like Dost and Thou sort of world, and it really like gives it a lot of humanity, and it makes Thor a very easy sell, like in the sense
I
that
think they did a really good job with it.
And-
Yeah, good translation.
I feel Ragnarok was the one that did it. I feel when I saw Thor.
and then
I
there's
thought
Dark World, which was shit, like absolute shit. Like it is not
Yeah,
even shit,
that-
just not
it's
memorable,
never
right?
counted.
In any way.
It's
Like,
not
it doesn't count.
counted.
Doesn't
You
count. Doesn't
never
happen.
look back at the entire Marvel compendium and you think of Dark World, you delete it from Wikipedia.
Doesn't
That
happen.
never existed.
It's the
in
Dark
the-
World, you don't see it.
I don't think it's as bad. I think Iron Man 2 is probably like the
Iron Man 2 is the worst.
It's
Iron
the
Man
worst
2
movie.
is the worst.
I
of
think
the
it's
lot.
like it does nothing. Like it
It
adds
does nothing. It does
except
nothing.
for the
You've got the
sick ass suitcase
Dandia.
Iron Man. Yeah, and Dandia.
Whiplash
I mean, I love
swing is
Mickey Rourke,
Dandia.
but like whatever.
I love
But-
Mickey Rourke, but yeah, that was just.
But I will say that I think Ragnarok. Why I like Ragnarok. Of course, I think Taika is great and it's damn funny and all that stuff. But I think the best part's obviously the whole buddy thing with the Hulk on Scar and stuff, and it's great. But like I think it still suffers from the same kind of the
over
third
humor,
act.
over
So-
humor thing of
Yeah,
Mark also,
of
right?
Hela, of not kind of being like I wish he didn't like kind of kick it at the end. I hope we see her again because otherwise it just feels like, oh, cool, you introduce a new villain and you got rid of it. I feel like so for me that part doesn't work, and also it's like Surtur is like a humongous villain like in the comics. I wish they didn't like kind of get rid of it again. I just
I
felt
was
like
I
They
was
didn't
I was
get rid
okay
of
with that.
him. He's still there.
all
He's
the
still
stuff
around. He's,
on Scar was great. I thought that drama, that Colosseum kind of situation, all
I
that
just
that was
thought it
great.
was tremendous for the simple reason that it's like the last thing you get pretty much like
Yeah,
before
I like that
the
as
events
well.
of Infinity War
I do like that
and
as
the
well.
Which
and
is really
Endgame
nice, yeah.
tear this universe apart forever. So it
Yeah.
almost feels like one last pause where it's like it feels like one of those nice one-shot stories that they do on the side
Gotcha.
where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
characters
yeah.
just go off and have a good time.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
after you've built 18 fucking movies of like everything being connected,
Yeah.
etc., whatever, here
I
they're just
concur.
sort of like, you know what? Everybody says we do the same thing. Here, we're just going,
Yeah.
we're just
Marvel-
taking this to its absurd conclusion.
Yeah, Marvel told Taika, here's the script, do whatever the fuck you want. And he's
Pretty
like,
much,
okay,
yeah.
okay, yes, whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
I
yeah,
want.
he's like, you know what?
He's
It's
great.
And he killed it. He
Yeah.
killed
And
it.
there's just a lot of and for me what really sells Ragnarok is it's the faith in the talent that you have, right? It's you give it to Taika Waititi, you trust in Chris Hemsworth's sense of humor, which by the
Yeah.
way his comic timing is
He's great. He's actually
lambing.
really good at
All
that.
right, it is infuriating that somebody can look that good, be that good an actor, and have that level of comic timing.
Have you
It's
seen
bullshit.
the
Still do
miniseries?
Extraction.
Have you seen the miniseries Thor with what was his roommate?
Those this thing.
Yeah.
Clips, promotional clips. Thor
Yeah,
and his
what
roommate.
he's doing during the events of Infinity War or something.
Oh yeah.
He's chilling with his roommate.
Oh,
And, like,
Civil War, during Civil War. Yeah, I
During
remember.
Civil War. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like he points to a drawing of Thanos and like this is a purple dude, and I'm like, I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. This
it's
is so
great.
good.
It's great.
It's just
and it's
great.
canon.
Yeah, it's all canon. It's all canon. So it's great.
No, I do like it. I think you're in the sense that if you put in context to the rest of the films, yeah, it sits well just before Infinity War.
Also,
think
I can do a whole separate stream on why the first 12 minutes of the movie are some of the greatest filmmaking ever put to committed to film.
Yeah, it's the where he I'm missing it.
Everything from the beginning with
The play
Surtur
and
all
stuff
the
like
way
that,
until
right?
he comes back. No, before the play, until his return to Asgard, and then
Oh yeah,
actually,
yeah, when he meets Surtur, right?
actually,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would say all the way up until the point where Hela breaks his hammer.
Yeah, I
that
thought all that is
is
solid. In
20
fact, that
minutes
whole thing,
of solidity that is just such. And when they say, "Oh, Taika Waititi's got this thing style," but you see such clarity in that filmmaking.
Actually, yeah, I like all the Doctor Strange stuff. I do also the thing that I like, about the movie the most is that Asgard is not like a place; it's a people and stuff like that, and that's cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
nice.
that
That's pretty cool.
concept a lot more. But they nixed the Warriors 3 so like easily. I was just like, yo, come on, dog.
Yeah, they had to do. I agree. They did them dirty. They did them very
them
dirty on
dirty,
that one.
dude.
They did them dirty. They did them solid dirty on that one. That's fair.
And where's Sif? And yeah, man, come on. Anyway,
You know,
whatever.
if you
It's all
watched
good.
Agents of Shield, you'd
You
know.
would.
You know, if you watch Agents of Shield, Tejas.
I
I
think
walked
it's not
right-
going to-
I
it's
walked
not
right
going to
into that
so
one.
If you
good.
watch
Yeah, it's
Agents
not
of
going to, like-
Shield, you might have some clue, but it's fine.
Okay,
So, okay,
I guess
Thor-
then when you watch The Mandalorian this season, maybe you should watch Clone Wars.
Thor.
I'm okay. I'm
I'm good with Thor. I like Thor.
I'm okay.
Up,
with Thor.
up. Okay.
Up for me. I like
So
Thor.
underrated. You use like underrated, overrated. It's not like really like
sorry,
or dislike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I think Thor is underrated and there's still a lot of potential in the character to explore.
Done.
Okay,
Done.
I'll go with it. Yeah, I think so as well.
Okay, next character is someone that the chat has also recommended multiple times, Mr. India.
Fucking underrated. Yo,
Yo,
I'm a-
Mr.
I'm-
India should be a fucking cinematic universe. All right?
Yes.
Everybody
Period.
knows this. Mr.
Period.
India should be a cinematic universe whereby now Mr. India is like Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all the kids are operatives
Done.
and they are walking around
And
the
we
world. taking
somehow
down the
managed to
remaining
get Tina
Mr.
back to
Mocambo,
life.
Hydra,
We
and
cloned
all of that
Tina
is
using the
happening.
DNA from the explosion.
Yes. There's
on
a
Juhu Beach.
cyborg Tina. There's a
Cyborg
cyborg
Tina.
Tina now.
Dude, I
There's
am up
basically
for
a cyborg
gritty
Tina
reboot.
now.
I'm there.
Dude,
I am there for it.
Mogambo with a gauntlet. That is the crossover we
It
need,
looks
you know,
like that.
Mogambo
Come on,
with
yeah,
a
he's
gauntlet.
ready. Yo.
Fuck,
Yo, yo.
Mr. India deserved
We
a
don't trifle
sequel
with
like
Mr. India.
anything,
That guy's our
right?
only like
No, you
legit
don't fuck with Mr. India,
superhero.
man. Don't fuck
But
with
his
Mr.
weakness
India.
is red.
His
His
weakness
weakness
is
is red.
It's
it's
light.
the wavelength, okay?
Okay.
I
First of
use,
all.
so anyone
It's
with
okay.
specs that has red.
Yo,
specs
and
in a day, I can
we
see
we got like Mrs. Hawaii who could also just be a second, like another character. Yo, we gotta build the I'm
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
Mr. India is a bona fide fucking cult classic. So yeah,
Sridevi's character was Lois Lane. She was like the ultimate fucking fearless,
was.
independent.
She was.
Like she was not a damsel in distress at all. And this
God.
is way back when.
Think
Mr.
about this
India is
universe,
fucking
man.
baller, dude. Here
Shridevi's
again is a
character.
movie that
Calendar.
Calendar. What a great
Calendar.
character.
Calendar's Jarvis. Oh my
Calendar's,
God.
no,
Calendar,
Calendar
basically
to me is the
I mean, Jarvis is calendar. Let's just be clear.
Calendar's the
True.
Ned to his Spider-Man, you know, like he's that buddy there.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy in the chair.
Yeah, the guy in the chair. But
Yeah.
like Mogambo is a great villain. I always feel
Super.
whenever
Better
like,
than
when-
Doctor No, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, Mogambo is a tremendously good villain. Mogambo has tremendously colorful henchmen.
Yo,
Yeah.
Teja. I can never forget. Teja. Okay, Rohan
he's
is
frozen at
But
exactly
Teja,
the right
dude.
moment.
I said Teja. This is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Darna Mana hai or something.
Yeah. Wait, but which Teja? Which Teja are you talking about?
There is a
Guy.
Teja in. He's got two main cronies. Okay,
Ah.
in Mogambo's two main cronies. I can't remember one. Obviously, I remember the other one whose name is Teja. But yeah, I think he gets thrown into the pit. You know, right after that. But yeah, man, it's awesome. It's Mr. India is great.
Awesome. So completely underrated.
It's amazing. It's Mr. India, Anil
It's the
Kapoor, his
best.
son, Bhavish Joshi.
Oh,
That's lineage, dog.
Boom.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
lineage.
that is what you call it. Yeah,
That's
you're right.
lineage.
Absolutely right. So done. Underrated. Definitely underrated. Reaches the top of the underrated peak, Mr. India. I'm going to move on to the next one. Next one branches away from superhero, but Power Rangers.
Love Power Rangers. Did you watch
No
the reboot?
opinion.
Did you watch the reboot? Okay. So they got Bryan Cranston as Zordon, who
Yes,
was
but that was bad. That was bad. Let's not.
Yo. Okay, 1 second. I don't know much about Power Rangers because I never watched a lot of this series. I never had the toys or anything like that. But the movie tries its best to make sense of it, which I don't know if is the best way to go. You have to go zany. Like, once again, if you give Power Rangers to like a Taika Waititi, he might actually, turn it into something absolutely bizarre. But I'm okay with Power Rangers. I think it's
Power
fun.
Rangers.
I like the first movie, man. That first movie was cool.
Every episode of the show is very simple. Power Rangers are there. Alien threat comes. They defeat the alien threat.
With a Megazord.
They get a Zord. They become a Megazord. They defeat alien threat. Woo! Explosions. And they have sustained this model.
It's amazing.
This was also the plot of Giant
this is
Robot,
a-
though, which
this
was
is
so
a-
much better.
Yeah.
Yo, Power Rangers is
so
its
much
own
better.
small like cottage industry. Okay, you don't understand. Okay, Power Rangers has done. You're right. It's such a killer formula. But they have sustained that shit for so long.
They have
I
the
just-
Dino
My
Squad,
favorite-
SPD, prehistoric. They have
Mighty
they got
Morphin,
Ninja.
dude.
Oh my god.
Yo. It's all about. And I never understood one thing. Only in Mighty Morphin is the White Ranger the leader. But in every other iteration,
It's
the
a
Red
red guy.
Ranger is the leader.
Yeah.
So what's that about?
If I'm not wrong, the white guy was Tommy. He was part of the team in the first one. I think if he was the Red Ranger in the first ever Power Ranger, this thing, and then eventually he's reached this illegal elite status. He died, came back. I don't know much of the mythos, but
it's
I just
interesting.
know
It's got
that
some.
it's like that.
It seems like it has some good lore.
Yeah. Oh, Power Rangers is the same thing that's been going on for. I respect them for their commitment to the
There's
storyline.
there's
They
a
are like-
great
Nice.
there's a great Funny or Die sketch about how Zordon is a racist and he's like,
Oh, yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
it does the black guy. He's like, you, Adam, you're going to be the Black Ranger, and he's like, wait, why? Like, the girl, you're going to be the Pink Ranger. Then he looks at the Asian. He's like, you're going to be the Yellow Ranger, and everyone's just like, yo, there's something wrong.
Hilarious.
about
Something wrong
this.
here. This guy's got
hilarious
problems.
that one. That's hilarious.
So good.
I have no
bro.
opinion on the Power Rangers because I haven't watched much Power Rangers
Okay.
at all.
Okay, cool. So we've got that opinion. Do you guys have any requests to add to this list? Underrated? Any underrated?
Ang
slash
Lee's
overrated?
The Hulk. Underrated.
Fair. All right.
I've spoken. That's all. I just really want to talk about that because
No, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
love
That's the Aeronautin one, right?
No.
That's the
The
Eric
Eric
Bana one.
Bana.
That's the
Eric
Eric
Bana,
Bana one. That's the Eric
Jennifer
Bana one.
Connelly, Nick Nolte. It's got issues, but it was so early in the day that they were trying something, but they really tried something. I think it's a little
Yeah, they did.
ahead of its time.
I'll
Marks
let you
for
go
effort.
with this
Full
one.
marks.
I'll let you go with this one. Yeah.
What I wonder if I could add one more to this list, it would be the Shazam movie.
I have thoughts on this.
I enjoyed the Shazam movie. I really enjoyed the
didn't.
Shazam
I mean, I
movie.
enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was so like
Till
spectacular.
they got the Shazam family, it was amazing. Once they got the Shazam family, it was a very easy way to deal with everything. I'm like,
Yeah, of course,
yeah,
of course.
you can-
Yeah. The Marvel,
Yeah.
Marvel, but still, it was. I just enjoyed it because it was sweet. It was.
I still don't know.
Because
I've
for
not
me, that's
formed an
always
opinion
been the
about it.
essence of Shazam is that idea of that slight childish element to it, right? And I'm so glad that they stuck with that. And it was very much. It was like watching a really pleasant children's movie, which felt nice actually. in a way.
Yeah, probably that's
Like it felt nice in a way. It was like there was something very comforting about being in this movie and somehow realizing halfway through that nothing terrible is going to happen to anybody I love in this movie.
Yeah, it was.
Like, nothing
if-
genuinely
okay.
terrible is going to happen to anybody I
accept.
love in this movie.
I
Which
think
for
I
a
need to
Shazam
rewatch
movie
it.
is a nice
Yeah.
feeling.
It was if Big was a superhero movie, you know, it was literally
it's
that.
literally
Like,
Big
hey,
is a
was
superhero movie as
which
far
is
as I'm
Shazam.
concerned.
But which is Shazam, right? Which is basically the essence of Shazam.
Yeah.
In general, what if a kid got like godlike powers, right? That's
I think Zachary Levi, he did a
Yeah,
decent job.
great job.
Yeah,
he did a
it was
decent
quite
job. He
funny
did a decent
and
job.
I think that was there's one scene which I thought was really good, which is the one with where both floating in midair and Mark Strong is like saying stuff and he's like, I can't really hear you.
Yeah, I got it.
Basically like just crushing all those tropes of superheroes.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
are
all
great.
those
That's great.
things
I love that.
really-
That was funny.
yeah.
That was genuinely funny.
But
And
I still think the best Shazam portrayal is Young Justice, though.
yeah, so good.
It's
Oh
very
my God.
sparing use in Young Justice.
But
I
yeah,
like-
Young Justice is just like
Young Justice
all
is
the Teen
the
Titans
best.
stuff is fucking on, dude.
But Young Justice is like the gold standard. It's like the Batman the animated series
Yeah.
of this time
I
for
agree,
me.
I
Like
agree.
cracker lacking three. I've not finished the third season yet.
It's good.
But what a solid story it's been, man. Start to finish. What
And
a
so
solid
is
story.
Teen
I
Titans
am
Go.
going to. Yes, Teen Titans go.
yes, Teen Titans go.
That
Watch
shit
that.
is the best
Watch that.
DC
It is
movie.
very
Teen Titans
good.
Go to the Movies
Sold.
is one of the best movies.
It
And
is
dude,
superb.
it gets so meta in the show. At one point, the Teen Titans realize that they are being drawn as a cartoon, and so they confront their voice actors in the. Oh my god, it's just like
Dude, in the movie
It's
they
like
crashed.
insane.
It was the only DC movie that got Stanley to do a cameo. Like in Teen Titans
Yeah,
Go to the
exactly.
movies,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
crash into Stanley, and I'm
exactly.
like, oh wow.
No, it's
So
fucking
good.
amazing. Teen Titans
Okay.
Go is great.
All
Agreed.
right.
must watch.
All right, yeah, man, that's the end of the list. I had a few more, but like we'll just go on and on and on. So I'm going to end it at this note, and a very happy note about
We
Teen
could
Titans
legit be
Go.
here all night.
Yeah,
I
I know.
swear to
We
God.
could just keep
I
going.
swear to God.
We
But
haven't even talked about how Deadpool is not good.
We haven't.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what, Tejas, can I just show you
I'm gonna
something?
stir the pot. Sorry.
Just see this. I removed Deadpool right now because I thought it would be too much, but I am going to say I
I'm just
agree.
gonna. Everyone's just gonna roast me. I don't want to do
No,
that.
I agree.
I enjoyed Deadpool 1. I did not enjoy Deadpool 2.
I'm
was
just
too
like,
much.
Like, I was
Too
really
much.
let down by Cable. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
I really wanted a
the
lot
movies
more
are
from
just-
Cable.
See, I like the
Yeah.
comics. I like the fact that
The
it's
comics are
self-referential
so
meta
good.
breaking through
No,
the
no, the
bubble.
comics
That's
are really, really
amazing.
fun.
The
Yeah.
comics just use the format better. in the sense
Exactly.
that,
They-
like, this
they
did
go
the breaking the
one
fourth wall,
step
talking to
so
things,
zany-
but they
yeah,
need to
yeah.
do little more.
Deadpool kills the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Great.
now they're saying that Deadpool is going to be integrated in the MCU, so possibly, maybe, could be. I don't know.
I mean,
don't know.
sure. I mean, I think he'll do better with a better script and better like writing and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
for
just
sure.
feel-
Ryan Reynolds is great. He's not the problem. Yeah,
It'll be
he's
Oh,
too
no,
much
he's not the
humor.
problem at all. His
There'll be
charisma is...
too much humor. After a point, Marvel's like, you're going to watch Marvel and you're like, are you guys ever going to be
No, but I
serious?
feel
'Cause
like there's a
everyone's
great
wisecracking.
no, but I feel like there's a great space to use the Deadpool movies to basically remove all your R-rated bhadas with your other characters. Like with your other characters, you essentially
Yeah,
give
yeah.
them this
With
same
your
space.
Moon Knight or
Yeah,
or
no,
Captain
even like
America.
it'll be like fucking. This is one place where even like Captain America can come and just fucking like cut someone's head off and nobody give a
Yeah,
shit.
like
Like, I'm
that.
just saying, like nobody give a shit. Like in the Deadpool universe. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
just
watch it. I'd watch it.
Done.
It's good.
We definitely watch it, man. Okay, I'm going to end this here because we definitely are going to go on and on and on. I
Yes.
like to say this, okay? If you guys are on, we will do a part 2 soon. Are you guys on for a part 2 sometime
fuck
soon?
yes.
Fuck
Easy.
yeah. Chat, if you enjoyed this, I
dope.
want you guys to write down like Rohan and Tejas JMDLR. If you want a part 2, we will do a
Let's
part
start
2.
the unpopular opinion cinematic universe, guys.
Can it be a limited? No.
Dude, but it has, okay, 9 episodes down. Like it was supposed to start with you guys, okay? So I did the full-on like Marvel this thing of building up to the grand end game moment.
Aw,
This was
that's very
the-
sweet. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, but I'm very, very like there are way too many opinions that I've skipped. By the way, there are
Yeah,
a lot. more.
you know, we have
Part two,
just
part two.
danced around like the Snyder
Yeah.
cut like perfectly
No,
without
we-
like.
Yeah, just
We'll
like-
save that. We'll save that. We will do a part 2. Just a quick thing. So, few quick.
Actually, part 2
announcements.
is already ready. It was made, you know. It was like shot and it's there. But we just, you know, we couldn't do it. And now they're making a HBO series of
Yeah,
that
they're
part 2. So
An 8
Yeah,
hour
it's
long.
ready. It's already ready.
8 hour long
ready, it's
series
ready.
of part 2, which we will give you guys 8 hours of part 2, so you can explain all the minute details of everything that we did throughout our day, just so that you can see that one scene you wanted to watch.
Of
Enjoy.
course, just that one thing.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up right now. Before I go, a few quick announcements. Do you guys have any shout outs that you would like to give to all the lovely public watching?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel as well. If you look for Rohan Joshi, and I do streams on it every Thursday. So please, for now, and there's going to be a lot more content and shows coming onto it. So please come check it out. Like, subscribe, all of those things. Much appreciate.
Nice. I have album coming out. I don't know what I was gonna say. No, no, but actually, what you guys could, if you haven't seen it, obviously, Sahil and Rohan were part of like a Halloween telethon that Geek
Yes.
Fruit, the nerd kind of company that I have with Jishnu and Dinkar. So we did an edition of that where we did the Dark Knight table read, we did a quiz, we did a bunch of things. So yeah, go to Geek Fruit and check it out. It's a bunch
Yeah,
of
check it
nerdy
out.
stuff there. We have like 340 episodes of a podcast, bunch of shows.
Yeah, I
and
mean, if
things
you
like
thought
that.
this was nerdy, wait till you see Geek Fruit. You'll be like,
no,
whoa, guys.
please check it out. Please check it out. If you like any of this, it would be nice to have you guys.
And I think the most important thing is that all three of us have Discord servers. So please join our
That's
Discord.
true. Yeah. Oh shit! Smash that Discord.
Smash that
intro.
Discord button. Rohan just formed his Discord.
I
Tejas
did
has
just
his-
form my
yeah.
Discord. Yes, smash that Discord button. It is
Geek-
going to be opened up to the
And
public
this is
tomorrow.
fact. I was the first on Rohan's Discord. So.
He was. Tejas
Second.
was in fact the first. Second.
And I was second. I was second.
Yeah. There you go.
OG,
There you go.
the OG,
The OG Discord gang is here.
Oh man, that's amazing. You guys, man, I'm not even kidding. I have had so much fun because this is something that you just can't stop talking about because it gets
100%.
such a
100%.
best thing, dude.
personal
I believe the word
territory.
you're looking for is this conversation has been invigorating, good sirs. It has been invigorating.
Yes.
And now I'm going to put on my mask and get some petition signed near the station, guys. I have some vigilante change.
Just don't make eye contact with me, motherfucker. I don't want to sign your petition.
To all the people who saw this, thank you so much. I love you
thanks,
guys. To everybody who chatted, thank you so much. And a big shout out to the moderators, Devesh, Geetarth, and Manav. Thank you so much for being such amazing moderators, going through
job.
everything,
Great
going
stuff.
through the chats. Good stuff. And yeah, this is great. Hopefully, we'll do another part 2 soon. This is 3 nerds signing out, saying that we're all going to watch our respective things. Rohan for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Tejas for Mandalorian. And I'm going to go back to Ghost Rider. And we shall see you with another Superheroes Unpopular Opinion very soon. Till next time. Bye.
See you later, nerds.
And end stream here.